so bright. Good fucking morning. Welcome to the brightest place on earth. What up, everybody? OBS fucked me today in the ass. Sorry, I'm gonna fuck with the lighting again real quick. It's so, like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I look so bright. I don't know what happened. I don't... OBS, why you do this to me? What the fuck is going on? Come on, you fuck. They fuck me in the drive-thru. They fuck me everywhere. Good morning. Sorry about the delay in stream. OBS forced an update. Big warning. Do not let, just shut down OBS if it tries to update. Fuck. Oh, I'm tethered. It's whatever. We're just gonna deal with it today. I'm sorry if I hurt your eyes with the glare of my pale ass fucking skin. Thank you for the hype train. What a day we've had. OBS forced a fucking update on me, and it rewrote. It just deleted all of my audio and video settings. So my camera looks funny. I think I look weird. I don't know. I guess we're just gonna fucking deal with it today. If I look kind of yellow or bright, I don't know what to do. OBS fucked me in the ass. Took me 2 hours, and it still looks bad. I don't know. My lighting's not different. It's OBS being a douche. I'm blaming you for my sub troubles. Do it. Blame me for everything. I have to say thank you. We're in a fucking hype train. You guys activated a hype train before I even got on screen. I don't know how this happened. Rod Johnston, thank you so much for subbing to the class, keeping the classy alive, and being one of my best friends in the whole world. I very much fucking appreciate you. Cocky, thank you so much for subbing to the class, keeping the classy alive, and giving an ace that tier 2 fucking sub. I adore you, and I'm glad you don't have a brown widow spider on your avocado tree. Viata, bitch, with that tier 2 sub. Thank you so much for subbing to the class, keeping the classy alive, and giving a fucking anus its wings. Go forth and be consensual.
I love you. Thank you.
Mighty, so what I've learned to do, literally, so I don't have backups, but what I've learned to do just over the years of being fucked up the ass by OBS over and over and over again is to take screenshots of everything. So thankfully, I had screenshots of all my settings. I literally have screenshots of all my Go XLR settings. I have screenshots of all of my OBS settings because it does this at least once a month. I don't fucking know. It fucks with me so much that at this point, like, back in the day, when the only webcams that really existed for streaming outside of DSLR cameras was Logitech, like the Logitech whatever, I don't even know, 1080p something. And I still have them somewhere. They're like in a box. But those cameras would not save your settings. So every single day, every fucking day that anyone went live with a Logitech camera, you had to go into your video settings and set them back to where you want them every single day. They never, I mean, it literally up to today, Logitech does not save your fucking settings. It's infuriating. So every single day you would turn your stream on and you'd look like an alien and you'd have to sit here and fuck with your settings again. So I got to the point where I memorized all of them. Like I just knew all the numbers by heart. But OBS has got a lot more complicated since then, so I take screenshots now. But yeah, it's just it's insanity. OBS is the devil. It's the only thing it's the only thing. Hi Berserker, how are you, love? OBS hasn't fucked you yet. Good. I keep backups. Me too. I just do screenshots. I mean, if I would have noticed that it was updating, what I do is I sit at my computer, I just click, I have everything for stream pinned to my toolbar, and I just sit there and click everything, open it, and then I sit here and do my makeup, and I don't watch it open, because it all takes a minute to open up, and so I wasn't watching it, and OBS went into an update. If I was fucking watching it, I would have fucking closed it immediately, but I'm an idiot! God damn it, fucking cock fucks. Last night we got our side trips for Alaska. Oh my god, are you so excited? My work sent me a C920 and my brain hurt. Oh my god. Why? Yeah, like do they want to see your pores? It's okay. I mean, I got through the OBS shit. I just apologize for being late yet again. Like, I just don't. What are you gonna do? And I still look fucking weird, so oh well. Crispy. You know what I did do while all of this was doing its thing? I did clean the fuck out of my bong and my bowl. Like, it's spotless. It's packed. And it's a gray bowl, don't worry. It's spotless. Shall we smoke about it? I would love to. I wonder if exporting the profile and the scene collection would help that stuff. I don't know. I have a lot of like assets in my in all of my what do you call these scenes? I have a lot of assets, and so sometimes I wonder about that. Like my gaming asset, you know, it's got this little star that spins, and I've got all sorts of little animated assets going on, and I'm sure that probably has something to do with it. Cake, my love, good morning. BDO! Thank you so much for summoning the class, keeping the class alive, and giving a fucking anus its wings for 42 months. My God.
Answer to the universe. Thank you. I thought Satan changed.
Thank you, love. I appreciate you. The answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe. Ah! I didn't even read that yet. I hadn't even read that. Same brain waves. Hi, Kinger. How are you, love? ISO and salt. Yeah. Yep. BDO just gifted a sub to the babe with the power. What power? The power of voodoo. Hoodoo. You do. You remind me of a babe. Bum, bum. Every time. I love that movie so much. I'm so happy you have this screen name. Thank you, BDO, for gifting a sub in the channel. You're all about wizards of the highest order. Go forth and be consensual in every way. I appreciate you. I love the expression smoke pot about it. I use this a lot now. 100%. I think Viata is actually the one who coined that. I use it. Like, I have adopted it, and this is how... Like, I don't even know what was going down. Like, something happened one day, and Viata was like, how about we just smoke about it? And I was like, yeah, we should just smoke about it. And now we just smoke about it. I think. Got my little filter. I'm gonna need to get filters here pretty soon. There's keef on the mouthpiece. Ew! Un moment. There's keef on the mouthpiece. Because my desk is just a keef farm. Sometimes I wonder when I clean my keyboards, like, how much keef do I just blow out? Junior's more excited about the UTV trip, but there's guaranteed whale spotting. Dude, whales. Have you ever seen a whale? They're incredible. I grew up just with whales, so I really take it for granted, I feel like. Now when I go home and get to see whales, I get really excited. I already fucking exhausted with the arguments these past 2 days. Dude, for real, though. The internet is so angry. Banana ham hock bitch. Thank you so much for summoning the class, keeping the class alive, and giving a native swings motherfucker for 45 months. Let us chiz. God damn it, Keith. It's Rod. If any of you can ever make it to the Pacific Northwest, you do not need to pay for a whale tour to see whales. 80% of the time, just take a ferry. You will see. I mean, it's really kind of phenomenal. The vast majority of the time in Washington State, there's almost always whales because Washington, Oregon, and California, they're always going past those states, depending on what time of year it is. That's like their route. So, I mean, it's just astounding. They're so big. And like, it's like a water dinosaur. Just like, it's wild. It's pretty wild experience, but I really hope you get to see some. Ooh, I am smoking. Oh my God, what did I ground up this guy this morning. The garlic banger. It does smell like garlic. It's pretty weird. Aw, Viata, you're having a bad day. Boo. Just like a grumpy day. I hope nothing bad happened. Hello, Lizzie, my love. How are you? Twitter hasn't been that bad for me, but that's because I make prolific use of the I don't want to see this bullshit. Me too, honestly. Like, that's why I think it really stands out when Twitter's being really gross, because I am a firm proponent of the ban, block, ignore buttons. I love them. Twitter is literally, I got a Twitter as a mass communication device. It's a way for me to communicate with you guys on a mass scale because a lot of people don't have Discord. They don't have this. They don't have that. The vast majority of people have Twitter, and Satan bless my mods for putting my tweets in the Discord for people to see them. That's the only reason I made it, though, literally. And so no one would make a fake account of me because those are real. But other than that, like, I follow, frogs. I'm not kidding. Like, I follow meme accounts on Twitter. I follow, like, frog accounts, a couple streamers I like here and there. Like, I don't have a huge follow list simply because I don't do follow for follow shit. Like, I follow you if you have funny content that's gonna make me smile when I scroll past it. But to this morning, I was going down Twitter and it was just anger. All of it. Everything on Twitter. I mean, people like my friends are that are not friends with each other, but I'm like friends with these people in different social groups are attacking each other. So it's all coming up on my feed and it's wildly depressing. Like I am done with Twitter for the next couple days. I'm over it. Y'all know where I stand on the Wizard game. We don't need to talk about it. I just don't understand. I don't understand. It's just weird. I don't like that kind of shit. It makes me uncomfortable. I've been fighting with Twitch since 9 a.m. Oh, is Twitch being fucking stupid? It was being really weird. I couldn't change my stream title this morning. I tried changing it like 5 times. Maybe Twitch is being weird. Twitter hasn't been that bad for me, but that's because I make prolific use. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I'm here watching the General Synod, bishops, etc., discussing the gay marriage in the church. Some wonderful people, including people I know, talking on queer theology. Mostly people voting against, though. That's very sad. It's pretty common to see whales here in the northeast USA. Also, they're awesome. What kind of whales do you guys get there, Kona? I think the whales in the Pacific Northwest are mostly gray whales. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they're gray whales. Grays, and then we get orcas, obviously. I usually block everyone. I mean, I just, like, if it's a friend of mine and they're just having a bad day, I'll just ignore them for a while. Like, ignore the tweets for a while. It doesn't mean I don't like you, but I think it's part of being an adult is consuming media responsibly. And that means not being a dumbass, being aware of the world and what's going on, and, acknowledging there's a horrific war in Ukraine right now and not saying, oh, it's on the other side of the world, so it doesn't matter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's that, but also save your sanity. And Twitter tends to be like, I guess for doom scrolling for me, it's just every single fucking tweet after tweet after tweet is the exact same topic being discussed in a different manner. Someone just feeling the need to be vocal, I guess. And it's just like over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And lately, a couple people that I followed on Twitter liked like fucking Boebert tweets and shit. So I had to go unfollow some people that I was like, where the fuck did that come from? I don't know, man. It's so weird. Can I just say, okay, I don't want to talk about the Wizard game. Y'all know how I stand on it. We've talked about it plenty. But this is something that I've just noticed, and it's like a weird phenomena, and I would like y'all's opinion, I guess, on my thoughts. Just like literally, you can slander me. You can fucking come at me. But how come it's just like straight men and a few straight women who are just like the most screamy about it? I haven't seen a trans voice speak about the fucking game yet. Like, on a large scale. Like, I haven't seen anyone listening to a fucking transhuman. Is that just me? It seems so weird that, like, the people that are truly like, this is the hill they're gonna die on, they're all just straight dudes. Mostly. And then I see them arguing with members of the trans community. And I'm like, a member of the trans community has told you they feel icky and you are trying to, like, I just don't understand that. It's like a white person trying to tell a black person they're not racist because when the black person is like, hey, that was racist. That's what it feels like to me. Am I totally fucking off base? Please tell me. You guys are my friends and I trust you to be honest with me. I just feel like it's really weird. It's like the government. It's like all the white old men in the government talking about my genitals. That's what it feels like. Talking about female reproductive systems and whether or not we should be allowed to have abortions. It looks and feels weirdly gross to me. And I don't want any part of it. Like, I'm not liking any tweets. I'm not retweeting any tweets. I'm not in the conversation. I don't want to be a part of the conversation because the people that matter, y'all, know where I stand. I don't feel the need to virtue signal anywhere else. I'm done. But I just, Like, I want to tweet things like this because I want to get your guys' opinion, but I don't want to be a part of that Twitter nonsense. Like, I will tweet a question and 50 million people will come after me and say, blah, 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 blah. Just attack me. And that's not a productive conversation. Like, productive conversations don't happen on Twitter. And I don't know where else to go to ask these questions because it just feels that way. White saviory or like indignance. Is that the word for it? Indignance? Please keep in mind that almost all interactions present as likes on Twitter. I cuss out shit people all the time and never like the post, but it shows as a like. Oh, does it really? Oh, that's really good to know. I did not know that. It shows as a like. It was only 2 people, and I honestly did not even remember them. I don't know who they are, and I don't know why I followed them in the first place. And I did look into it and they were liking me. Like there were some questionable things in their profiles, but that's pretty fucked up. Okay, so I'm not totally off base on this. It's pretty much what I expect to happen. I did see one trans person speak about it, and they didn't have a huge issue with the game, and even liked that the game had a trans character in it. I mean, that's I'm glad that voice was heard. I feel like the trans community's voices are the ones that should be the only ones we listen to when it comes to trans hate. You know? Because I'm not trans. I cannot judge where the hate is. I don't see how any other non-trans person thinks they can. You know what do you see where I'm coming from? Please tell me off if I'm being total fucking ignorant, chud. I get it. Ooh, so not this is a exact topic, but this is an explanation. For what? Ooh, hold up. Let me grab. Yes, yep. Okay, so it's not me. Every time you go fishing like that, I expand my block list. I mean, I get bored, right? There are some days where Katie just gets a little bored. And I'm like, let's tweet something fun. Because, I mean, I swear to God, I could tweet anything and it'll pull racists out of the closet. Like, people that follow me that are just, like, fucking belligerently racist. And I'm like, why do you follow me? Why do you follow me? I don't know, man. It drives me fucking nuts. I'm trying to move this screen over. It's got to be a shitty feeling. I don't see many things from the other side. So for me, it feels like 95% of my fellow leftists arguing with each other. Exactly, lol. Exactly. That's exactly what I feel like. It's watching all my friends argue with each other over something they really don't have a stand on. You know, they're not trans. Like, I know these people are not, at least they're not openly trans and they're not like part of the community that I'm aware of. There are enough good games out right now that you can easily avoid playing the Wizard game and still have a good time, and you'll avoid making most of your trans friends uncomfortable. So kind of a no-brainer. That's kind of what I said to Zach, man. And again, like, I don't want to beat the bush because you guys know where I stand on this shit. But I said the same thing to Zach. I was like, first off, there's so many fucking games out there. So anybody that's like, we have to support the devs, go to Steam, filter by indie game. There's some devs to support. Do you think that these devs making the game just have not been paid the entire time they were making the game? Like, that's what I want to ask. I don't, because I don't want to argue with fucking chuds on the internet. But that's my curiosity is like, in my experience with game development, by the time a game is released, they already have a pretty good projection on how well it's going to do. And if they think it's going to do well, those devs are already working on game 2. The release of the game, all the profits when a game gets released go to the publisher and the owner of the rights of the material because they're the ones that front the money and put the most risk up. The devs are getting paid from the moment they're hired. Like, they've been working, I don't know how many years this game's been in development, but they've been paid that whole time. So I don't understand. People are like, we got it. Like, how could we fuck the devs? Do you know how many devs you're fucking over by not playing their games? Do you know how many fucking games there are out there? Literally so many games that I don't think any of us have enough life to play them all and support all the devs. So that argument to me is it's not real. It's null and void. It just sounds ignorant to me. I agree. And then the other thing that I was going to say Crispy is, I was talking to Zach about it last night because, I think he talked to his community about it a little bit yesterday. But the guys on Drop Frames want to talk about the game because it is the #1 game on Twitch right now and all this. And that's what their show does, talk about top games. And Zach didn't want to. He was really kind of like uncomfortable about it. He's like, I just don't want to be in the conversation. I'm not smart enough to talk about the issues with the content of the game. And I have trans people in my community who have verbally said they feel icky about it, and that's all it takes. And I was like, what's sad to me is that that's not enough for some people. You know what I mean? Like, if a couple of people in their community are trans and make a comment like, oh yeah, it kind of makes me feel icky because JK is really hateful. And you're like, I need more. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, how many people have to be hurt before you give a fuck? Or have to feel hurt? I don't know. Am I totally just like a way oversensitive piece of shit? Thank you guys for being honest and listening to me. I've been thinking about this stuff for days. Like the last 2 days straight that I wasn't able to stream because I had therapy. And then Monday's RP day / day off day. I've just been like fucking stewing on this stuff. But I don't have anyone to talk about it with because I'm not about to go tweet anything because it's not worth it. There's no productive conversation. But it feels, I don't know. You shouldn't need more than one person being like, hey, that made me feel gross. Like, to me, I'm not saying like this is like an overarching like, oh, but you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Hello, Alchemy. I love you. I heard your resub and I had to go back. Thank you so much for resubbing the class, keeping the classy alive, giving any swings, my love. I'm sorry I was on a tangent, but I've quite literally been kind of obsessively stewing over this shit for like 2 days straight, and I haven't had anyone to talk about it with, so I've had a lot to just like on you guys, and I'm sorry. But thank you for being here to listen to my vent. I love you, and I don't want any of you to feel icky. Avalanche Software is a subsidiary of Warner Bros. They don't need extra support, right? That's what I'm saying. Can confirm, I'm a software dev, never seen a kickback from the sale of any software I've written, right? Like, you're lucky to get a bonus, but that's not because of, like, a piece of software or one game. It's because the company as a whole did well. Also, JKR has said personally that the revenue personally tells her who supports her ideology. She said that out loud. Her ideology, as someone who does queer activism in Britain, actively funds anti-trans legislation in Britain. I mean, it's plain and simple, not hypothetically, not conceptually, literally in courts and hospitals, etc. Your money directly funds that. And that was one last thing I wanted to add. I have no problem with, if people are like, I get it. Big Harry Potter fan. You guys know. You know. If you know, you know. I got a lot of Harry Potter shit in my house still to this day. I understand the love. Pirate the game. Get a fucking VPN and pirate the game. I get it. Don't stream it. Pirate the game. I get it. There's ways to go about it. And if y'all are here, I'm assuming you're smart enough on a computer to fucking pirate a game. If you literally cannot not play it. Like, if it is so, like, I'm trying to think of something for me like that. I'm not really obsessed. BioShock, I don't know. I get it. Like, some people are just like, pirate it, please. Thank you, Crispy. I feel crazy because I don't see anyone with similar thoughts as mine being vocal, probably because we're all not being vocal because we're scared of all the angry people online. Like, none of us are all the people that, maybe have similar ideas aren't talking because we're terrified to be attacked by the anti-trans, anti-blah, blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to scroll up on chat. Sorry, I missed a couple. Some will jump through all these hoops for a simple justification, and when you could play like 100,000 billion other games that you don't have to justify. Empathy is more rare trait than it should be. Engaging in it is never wrong. Thank you. Honestly, I'm feeling you've put a lot more thought into it. Sorry, I can read. I'm feeling you've put in more thought than a lot of people who chose to stream the game. I can read, I swear to God. My God, Katie. Thank you. I do. Well, I feel like I have a lot of, like, empathy, sympathy for a community of people that are just constantly being fucking punched down. And to watch, like, the community of gamers, we're supposed to be, like, we're not supposed to be, what's the word? We tend to be a lot more liberal in our, like, just life. Not politically speaking, but like we tend to be, you know, nice. I don't know how to put. It's weird to watch just a lot of gamers that I like be like, well, I can play whenever I want, and it doesn't mean I'm taking a political stance. Meh. It's just weird. It makes me uncomfortable, and I feel like I have no one to talk to because I'm not seeing anyone that's saying these things. Important topic, it's fine. I literally was consoling a trans friend earlier today because she was so upset. Really? That breaks my heart. We all collectively vent at you constantly. I think you're allowed to do it back. I feel bad. I like when we all vent back and forth, but like I feel like I'm dumping literally 2 straight days of just me thinking about this stuff because it's just I feel like there's a really easy solution, but instead of that, people are just like keyboard fighting over being a 14-year-old wizard. Like grown adults want to be 14-year-old wizards again. That bad. Like, I don't know. Right, penis? It's the simplest solution. I don't get it. Like, we've all done it for fuck's sake. I love supporting artists who make copyrighted Harry Potter art. Love my handmade wand where the See You Next Tuesday gets nothing. 100%, yes. That's what I usually, Disfusional, when she first started getting all turfy publicly, we talked about it a lot because I can't really say I am anymore because literally Harry Potter makes me feel gross these days. I just feel icky. Anything about it makes me feel icky because of her. But I have 5 different wands that I've gotten at the park every time I've gone to Harry Potter Land, like the Wizarding World of Harry Potter or whatever. I've been there so many times. I have a mint condition Slytherin cape outfit that still has like the plastic on your little emblem. I've never worn it. Like I am a fan. Was big, hard fan. I grew up with the books, midnight releases for the books and the movies. Big fucking fan. And yet, I don't really have any FOMO about this fucking game. I don't get it. Just me? But, sorry, where I was going with that was I sympathize with the struggle with like, yeah, the alleged author of this series is a piece of shit waste of air. But like you have that nostalgic attachment to a childhood love like Harry Potter or Barney or Sesame Street or the fuck you love, Elmo. I get that. Go to Etsy. Seriously. Like if you like just need Harry Potter merch in your life, go to fucking Etsy. There are so many incredible sellers making custom handmade beautiful crafts that are like you can get them Harry Potter themed, you can get anything. Etsy literally has everything in the entire world. But you can get so much cool shit there and not 1 penny of it goes to J.K. Rowling. Like, not a fucking pence. You know what I'm saying? If you must. Like, that's like my fucking Harry Potter pillow, which is actually up in a safe place right now. I don't know where it is because one of the dogs tried to eat it. Again. But yes, my Harry Potter pillow, very much so. Like, there's ways to go around it because as little people who have no audible voice, we speak with our money, right? That's the only way we can speak is with our money. And the way that someone disappears is we stop buying their thing and they don't have any money to create their company anymore and they go away. That's the only way we can speak, really, you know? Hello, Saber. How are you? Sorry if I missed anybody. I'm trying to go up in chat. Nothing really. I was just mostly I just wanted the community's opinion on my thoughts about it because I don't want to tweet anything about it. I try to keep doom shit off my Twitter if I can, except once in a while when I'm a little spicy. But I don't feel like there is no productive conversation that's going to happen on Twitter. You know what I mean? If anything, it'll be a great way to filter some transphobes out of my follow list, but that would be it. You know what I mean? And so for the past like 3 days that I wasn't streaming because day off and therapy day, 2 days, excuse me, I've just been fucking like cyclone stewing on this shit because it seems like such an easy solution. I don't know. And people, I mean, I see people who are like way bigger streamers than me, very, very successful. And I feel like This is the hill they chose to die on, and it just seems like such a strange, hateful hill to die on. I don't know. It's like having a group of people who are like, we're always getting fucked, not give a shit about people who are actually marginalized. I don't understand why it's so hard to have the tiniest degree of empathy and listen to people. I don't understand it either. I don't. Maturity is as rare, if not more so, than empathy, which is so. I mean, I can't fathom not being empathetic. Like it's almost a curse. I wish I could turn it off sometimes. You know. Hello, Miri, my love. Miri says, "Hello, trans person here. The whole thing is and has been exhausting, and I fucking appreciate you speaking on it. Really? I'm gonna fucking cry. I'm serious because I feel like I talk about it too much, and I feel like it's like banging you guys on the head with this horrible, horrible thing that's happening. Thank you for saying that. I'm not gonna cry. I feel like that. Like the more I talk about it, I feel like I'm just like shoving this horrible thing into my trans community's face, and I don't want you. If I'm making anyone uncomfortable by continuously talking about this, but I'm seriously kind of fucked up by it. It's weird to watch people just write off half a portion of their community for a video game. I'm not gonna cry. It's over. But I feel I never ever want to sit here and like beat a dead horse when, you know, it's making anyone uncomfortable because I know you guys are fucking exhausted. I cannot fathom how the trans community feels right now. Just watching, I mean, I we've talked about it a million times. I don't need to be a broken record. I can't fathom what it feels like watching like a streamer that you've watched for years and years and you idolize suddenly write you off because of the devs. We're supporting the devs or whatever. I'm so sorry that's happening to you. You don't deserve that. I'm not gonna cry. You're gonna cry! Smoking drugs about it. Yes, David, so hard, yes. Hold on, I want to read what David said out loud. I missed some chat. I'm trying to scroll up. Mom, Katie forced me to cry. Man, it's weird. I know it's weird that I get really emotional about this stuff, but it's just like I don't know, it's weird to me. It's so weird that you need more than one person saying, "Hey, the author of that series hates me for who I am and it makes me feel icky that she made a game and people love it." You need more than that is weird, and it breaks me up inside. What David said was, you know, sometimes it's important to remember that Twitter's a sort of heightened and distorted reality, and it's not really the real world. 100% yes. Hard agree. I love that you said that because I feel like this is why I'm off Twitter for the next couple days. I'm done. I'll post that I'm going live, but it starts to warp your mind to think that that's the normal, and it's not. Ugh. That hit made me sweaty. Crispy, thank you for gifting Miri a sub, my love. I appreciate you. Miri, use a butt wizard and you fucking know it. Go forth and be consensual in all the ways. What fucks me up the most is knowing JKR is bolstered by all the money she continues to make. Like, she tweeted that shit. I know. Her tweets are so fucking gross. Ghoulish behavior from her all around. Seeing all the people just dismiss that man, I don't know. Dude, Haj, not even kidding you. Zach said almost like a simpler version of that exact thing. We were talking about it, what, like 2 nights ago, because the drop frame guys were saying, like, is everyone cool with talking about the Harry Potter game just on a, like, how's the game level? Nothing more, because it is the top game, and I guess that's what their podcast does. And Zach said the same thing. He's like, all of the trans hate aside, she's just a cunt. And I don't like her. That's what Zach said. He was like, even if she wasn't like this, you know, blazingly, openly hateful turf, she's just a bitch. And I don't like her. Like, that's exactly what he said. And I was like, that's fucking valid. There's a hair in my eye. Of course there is. That's right? Like, that was the most valid thing ever. Like, I get that. God damn it. A hair just came out of nowhere and is now in my eyeball. On my eyeball. I can't see now. God damn it. It came out of nowhere. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll back up on chat. I know I'm missing a lot of chat. I just feel very venti today, and I apologize. I've cried so much about Harry Potter. At least once a week, I'll just sob about the whole thing. I feel that way. I'm like shaking angry. As I said above, it's like someone's died. Even same. I know. Well, that's how I feel. Like I'm not gonna play it, but for people that like absolutely must, I feel like that's the best option. I don't know where a hair came from, but it stuck to my eyeball and I felt it. It's beyond just the game. Right now, anti-trans rhetoric in the United States, in the states, bills being put forth to force detransition is at an all-time high, and she's crazy transphobic. So anything to do with the franchise is like a pile of absolute shit. That's how I personally feel, but I know I never want to like impose my feelings on someone else and be like, how dare you not feel this way? My coffee just splashed my chin. It's fine. Wait, curry puff or Thai spring rolls? Curry puff. Get the fuck out. You get me for a little while longer as the garage needs to warm up before I can finish this thing. Oh, are you excited? Are you going to the plot? I appreciate you talking about this. It's super important. You create a very safe space here, and we love you all the more for it. Thank you, seriously. But if I'm ever just like over talking about this topic, or it feels like Twitter here, please feel free to let me know, or one of my mods know if you're not comfortable talking to me in either a DM or a whisper or whatever. Because I just like, man, I just didn't have anyone else to talk about this shit with. You guys are my people. And I've been in mental hell about it for 2 days. Just like, am I off base? Like, am I totally being way overly sensitive? You know? Because I know that can like, I'm aware of that. And I do get fiercely mama bear protective of my friends, regardless of your genital status or your pronouns. Like, if you're part of my community and you're an awesome person, I'm fiercely protective of you. And I get very emotional about that shit. She was asked how oh my God, yes. I brought up this tweet the other day to Zach. He didn't know. She was asked how she sleeps at night knowing how she hurts so many fans. And she may as well have answered, on silk sheets rolling naked in money. She answered, didn't she say all of this money helps? Wasn't that literally her answer? Someone tweeted at her, how can you sleep at night? And she answered, all of this money helps. I think that's literally the quote. There's a lot of well-spoken people here, and while it's genuinely something I'm trying to work on, but I sometimes get caught in a loop until I get input from people who have more insight than me. May I post a question statement for people's thoughts? Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's literally me too. That's why I felt the need, like I really needed to just like vomit all my thoughts out to you guys today and get your guys' like views on them, because I'm the same. Like, I start to second guess myself and I'm like, am I making this bigger in my head than it really is? Da 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 da. Like, am I overreacting? And I don't, you know what I mean? You guys are the trans community. I am not the trans community. I love you. I am an ally. I will stand for you to the end of time because people deserve rights and human body autonomy. But like, I don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's hard. Why couldn't she spend her resources on saving the pandas or something? Why'd she have to be an absolute cunt? Right? CNN platform to turf surfer? What the fuck is that? I love you, Viata. Chill and cheers. Sorry, I'm just catching up on chat. Me too, Power. Like, honestly, I didn't have any interest in playing it just because I don't really want to be a teenager again. Like, I've grown past wanting to be a teenager. You want to take from a game dev? Yes, Cat. Yes. Yes. And then if you want, I'll tell you what my thoughts were based on the dev stuff. If you didn't hear what I was talking about earlier. Yes. We've all had a chance to talk about it over in chat in our circles. We're your circle, we're your chat. This is where you get a chance to vent and work it through. Ditto. Ditto. It must be rough to sleep in a nest because she's a harpy. That's almost giving harpy as a bad name. God damn. Absolutely. I'd never want someone to feel like I'm forcing my opinions on them. That's exactly it. I don't want anyone to feel like that. Like, if I'm overblowing it, you know? I'm just saying this is not all in a vacuum. The game is a game, but there are real life consequences to all this anti-trans rhetoric that she amplifies. 100%. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like amplifying a hateful human who's like on a platform of hate. Like, who wants to do that? I really wish people would stop condoning literal stealing as a way to protest the game. If you have a problem with it, then don't play. Pirating is literally illegal. I agree. I just don't know how else to get around. Like, some people are like insanely hardcore fans of Harry Potter, and I don't know how else to like appease them and not give her money. If you have an idea though, you fucking let me know. Because they're asking me. Like, it's not like I'm trying to push this on people, like, just do this. But when people ask, I'm like, that's the only thing I got. I wouldn't, like, everything Harry Potter makes me feel poopy these days, because I just see her and her hate, and her bed of money or whatever the fuck, but you know what I mean? Bat Penguin. Dude, me too. I mean, there's so many, I'm all about fucking Dresden Files these days. Those books are really good. Besides playing one in a TTRPG, exactly. I think I'm like 17, let's be fair. I'm a little bit older. Is it just a man who disobeys the... Wait, it is the just man who disobeys the unjust law. Civil disobedience is a valid form of protest when your society and government are slow in adapting to the changing societal values. Isn't there a really good quote? I think I literally have it as a magnet on my fridge. But the front of my refrigerator is not magnetized, even though it's stainless steel. You have to put magnets on the side of the fucking fridge, so I never see my fucking magnets. But it's like, obey the rules when you're young so you have the courage to break them when you are old or something like that. It's a good one. Doesn't the game have a trans character? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Honestly, I just wasn't interested. Like, we're playing Stanley Parable. Like, that's way more fun. But what if you were a teenager and a turtle? Wait, you were a teenager and you were a turtle and you did like karate? Do I live in a sewer and do I get a constant stream of pizza? Because then we can talk. At least harpies help clear dead bodies. Truth. Okay, so this is a dev view. I've been making games for a long time. Here's how the IP license for the HP game most likely worked. Warner Brothers paid for a license to make a game using the IP up front. This is where JRK was paid. She'll not make money off the game itself unless she has a very aggressive contract, which is something even the Tolkien Society struggles to obtain. The developers of the game, who put effort into building a very inclusing character creator. Is that a word? Inclusive? I don't know. It probably is a word and I'm an idiot. Are the ones that will be hurt by poor sales, not her. That's sad. That makes me sad. I don't want to hurt them. But I didn't have any interest in the game to begin with. If you had that many kids in a building, I never saw a bowl of condoms in those wizarding bathrooms. Just saying. You know, so back before she became turfy, basically for every holiday, my family would get me like Harry Potter themed gifts because they knew I fucking loved Harry Potter. And one year, I got this book that was like extra shit, like that she added after the books came out that were like, you know, questions everyone had. Just like, you know, questions, I guess. And I remember reading in it that one of the things was that there was a magicking in the whole castle where you could just like shit your pants or pee on the spot and it would be whisked away mystically out of your robes. I don't know. There was some weird shit in there. I don't know how legit it was, but it was different. House elves have always felt icky, 100%. I'm still on book 1, Crispy. I'm on book 1 because I was reading it on Kindle and my iPad accidentally got stepped on. So I haven't been able to continue. But I'll get there. Anyways, I was going to say, maybe they whisked away abortions or something. I don't fucking know. Magical baby away. No shit, it was way back in the 17th century? Damn. Oh, this is the Mark Twain. Of course, it's a good idea to obey all the rules while you're young, just so you'll have the strength enough to break them when you get old. Yep, I have that as a magnet on my fridge. I went to Mark Twain's house in Connecticut, toured it. It was pretty cool. Lilith scratched my nose, and I keep thinking it's like mascara. It's a scratch. Also, a game dev, Whimsical, thank you. Welcome. Similar perspective and agree that she's not likely getting money, but we have many cases showing that the sales of an individual game often border on on irrelevant towards even the job security of the people who made the game. And that's like, in my experience, just dating a dev for a few years and like learning from that aspect, that's basically what I got out of it. You know, was like, if the company as a whole does really well, they'll get a bonus. But the devs have been getting paid for years. The whole time the game was in development, the devs have been getting paid. Or the people working the game. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, devs in the community, please. But you guys have never signed a contract that's like, in 6 years when the game releases, we'll pay you. But only if people buy it. Like, that's not real, right? I think that's slave labor. Don't do that. Hi, Kills. How are you, love? But shitting your pants half the fun. I mean, if it just got I don't know how people shit standing up. That's just phenomenal to me. Unless you're, peeing out your butt. Then I get that. House Loves were like the song of the South. She made them love being a slave. Dude. Ew. I never put that comparison together, but she kind of did. With that logic, wouldn't cum magically disappear like poop and pee? Not if it went into somebody, because the poop and pee has to like fall out of the robes and like hit the ground or something. I don't remember the specifics of it, Rod. One has not only a legal but a moral responsibility to obey just laws. Conversely, one has a moral responsibility to disobey unjust laws. Oh, I love that. MLK. If a law is unjust, a man is not only right to disobey it, he's obligated to do so. Thomas Jefferson. Wasn't Jefferson kind of like a horribly evil person? Devs get paid closer to a minimum wage, but don't think anyone's richer if they've been paid for years. No, 100%. Yeah. I know. I mean, I don't know what entry. I dated a dev that was a dev literally for like 20 years, so he was making pretty good money, but I don't know what entry is. I know like testers usually make around minimum wage. QA, they don't make great money at all. And that's usually how you have to get into a game company unless you're super lucky. And the think of the devs argument's so odd. Do you think of them and buy every game that comes out? And that's the other thing. Like, there's so many devs out there that didn't work on that game. Like, I don't know. If you're really going to use that argument, that means you have to, like, clean out Steam. I don't know. Send them some send them an edible arrangement. I know a guy who worked in Blizzard for less than he would have gotten at a supermarket bagging groceries. Shut up. He did it for 7 years until he had enough of the corporate bullshit that Blizzard was. Was he QA? Everything I've heard about working QA is you usually get paid shit, unfortunately. And again, devs in the community, slap me with the right facts if I'm totally off. This is just what I've, like, in my 3 years dating a dev and learning things in the company and shit. Did not work in it, so obviously I am not as knowledgeable. If the game does well, then she'll make money on the next contract for the next game. So in that scenario, sales does put more money in her pocket. True. A broken clock is still right twice a day. Shut the fuck up, Dad. I think that idea where people transition from QA into design is really a thing of the past. Is it, David? Is it really? That's good, honestly. The only way, I mean, all of the devs I know have been in the industry forever. Like, I didn't know any, like 20-year-old devs, like dev, like part of the actual dev team. I knew QA that was really young, but people in dev teams across the board, like any studio I ever went to, they were like my age or older, and they'd been in the industry for a long time. So like they'd worked on Dark Age of Camelot, and they'd worked on this and that game. Like they all had history across the US of different games. So I don't know. Oh, crack. That felt nice. I sleep like a corpse, I swear to God. QA and head of online security. Damn. I had a friend that was a dev at Blizzard. It caused him to have a mental breakdown. Can I ask what he did? Like, you don't have to say, like the game, like, what did he, was he, like, a level designer? Was he, like, PvP? Like, just curious. Damn. Dude, I literally just spent a year off work not getting paid because I didn't agree with the moral egregious. I knew the word. I had to, like, look away and figure it out. What's it when you look left? Are you like pulling shit out of your ass? I don't know. Someone taught me that last week. Um, I practice civil disobedience whenever I need to. It's the only way to provoke change. I take my talent elsewhere. I won't just play along because that's what the man told me to do. I'm kind of the same way as long as it doesn't affect anybody else, like innocently. Like I would never do anything to like fuck a coworker or something because that's just me being just as evil as the bosses or whatever. We're just talking about dev companies, like where the money goes, the structure of them. I don't know if they're like I feel like in general across the board they're pretty similar, but that's in my very very limited experience. The goblins was one that oof. I'm repeating myself with the messages. Might be time for bed. Oh no, it's totally cool. If I'm missing them, it's totally fine. I've been on a fucking rant today, so that's on me. My brain just became a memory flub. I dated a guy who worked on that game. I played that game way back in the day. Dark Age, man. What a good time. Being a dev can be mega stressful. Currently in that place right now. Are you? Honestly, like, my ex was always stressed. Like, it was constant. I mean, it was literally constant. Because if it wasn't the creative director, like, pushing more work or, like, changing everything out of nowhere or something like that, then it was the merchandising team coming in and being like, we need to release the game on this day, even though it's not done. And it was just constant shit like that. And I felt like he had enough responsibility to take all the blame for everything, but not really to make any changes because it had to go through creative directors and shit, and they would ultimately change everything. And I feel like he was literally constantly job searching and always fucking stressed out of his mind. And if it wasn't that, then it was like death threats online from players and shit like that. Like it was just it doesn't I mean, I hope you enjoy your job. That's what I'll say. I hope that the good outweighs the bad because it just didn't feel like it. Really. He worked on WoW and D2. Damn, dude. Damn. A mental fucking breakdown. I'm so sorry. That is sad. I'm being creative. I was trying to remember a word. I was trying to remember how to pronounce a word. I pronounce a lot of words really wrong because I grew up reading and not really asking anyone how to pronounce words. I would just like phonetically figure it out in my head. So I say things wrong, and I'm sorry. Well, that's Tom, and that's the other side of it. I don't understand why there has to be hostility. Like, play a fucking game if you want to play a game. Reap what you sow. And if you don't want to play it, don't fucking play it. That's why I won't tweet about it. I won't do anything because I just don't want to be a part of that. Any of it. Like I'm gonna be over here. Like I have a plan to do some cool, like kind of an activity today, and then tomorrow I want to play more Stanley Parable, and then maybe play There Is No Game. I don't know. I have plans. Um, I remember I had a PC that could not run Dark Age of Camelot, but I was still forced that poor thing to try. I'm pretty sure mine was the same. Like for a while, I thought that the way you moved in the game was you pressed forward, and in a minute your character was just 20 feet forward, and then you pressed forward again, and then in a minute your character would be 20 feet forward because my internet was so bad. Hard same. Yeah. Excuse me. On the game, I'm just really focused on your point about the fact that it's just one game. It seems really easy to just skip one game. I didn't buy Forsaken and Ragnarok, and it doesn't keep me up at night. Now, there's potentially harmful reasons to not get this one. Seems like easy skip. Now there's same. That's literally whimsical. I don't know, man. Like, if you try to quantify mentally how many games we probably miss and don't play that are released, I firmly don't believe anyone has enough life span to play every game ever. Like, I have no problem. I have so many other fucking fun games to play. I have, like, you guys know, I have over 360, what was it, 362 games in my Steam library that are untouched. Well, now it's probably like 359 because we beat a couple this year. Hey-o, untouched games. I don't even want to know what it costs, what that list is worth. I don't want to know. They've been gifted to me. I bought them, so on and so forth. And so this year, what my goal is to put a fucking dent in that. So I am not buying games this year until I have a significant chunk taken out of that list. At all, regardless of what turfy bitch made them or inspired them. Like I got, you know, there's just more shit to do. I don't know. I don't do games but film, and we had a lot of stories of people who were like janitors at ILM and then became artists from the past. No shit. But nowadays we hire people with the degrees or portfolios we need. My advice for artists is that they should take artist jobs and not be runners. No one goes from a runner to an artist or production role anymore. That's really good advice. I think art, like this is just from what I've observed and friends I have who work in like the creative departments of game development. Artists do tend to not be hired up from QA or something. Like they tend to be hired straight off their portfolio. Cause I mean, there's no benefit to them working QA before going into like, concept art or something like that. Definitely. I've seen little players of games get hired. Like if there's someone in an MMO that is so phenomenally, like they don't even have to be phenomenally good at the game, but for some reason they're really math apt and they're really good with the numbers, like the damage numbers and the armor numbers, and they get on the forums and they're constantly like building new builds. They've just hired people straight out of that because they're like, you're fucking smart. Like, you know the game better than half the devs here. Come work with us. Like I've seen them do that more often than anything. But I know a lot of people that just have no experience. I think they think you should go into QA first, but I don't know. Now that the MBAs have infested the game industry, there's tons of people with all the responsibility to do something and none of the authority to do it right away, right? And then by the time you can do it, they've changed their fucking mind. Tell me I'm wrong. Oh my God, I swear to God, my ex was about to tear his ears off sometimes with that. Literally, like he would be about done writing the code for the thing that they wanted a week ago and they'd change their mind. They'd change it. Oh, I did not go into the studio half the time because I wanted to punch his bosses in the face. They were so fucking. Hi, Anubis. How are you? While I'm super disappointed with the people that have chosen to buy, play, and stream the game, I cannot condone things like hate raids against those streams. Same. I don't condone hate either way. Keep it in yourself. Get a punching bag for fuck's sake. But being vocally just like mean just makes you just as bad, in my opinion. Yeah, just move on. Don't rely on those people. The same. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not alone in that because that's kind of how I same. I play less than 0.1% of games. How do you know that? Like, I'd love to see that statistic just because there's so many out there. It's insane. And then if you look at all the games that have been made previous to today and add that you haven't played and add that on, for fuck's sake. Like, man, there's so many good games out there. Oh, glut. I've seen not hate raids on Twitch, but I've seen people just going after someone on Twitter hard. Like a lot of people going after Twitter. And I just don't understand why people still think they're going to change someone's mind or make any sort of effect with a tweet. Like, am I totally off base on that? It is. It's fucking cesspool. Yeah. I don't, like, if you see someone say they're going to do something you don't like, just fucking unfollow them. You don't have to speak to these people. There's no force to interact with them. But there's some, and that's what I was saying earlier today, Glut. Like, I'm not going to be participating in Twitter for the next couple days. Like, I'll tweet that I'm going live, but beyond that, I can't subject myself to the fucking doom scrolling that is Twitter right now. And that's, you know me, like, I'm not afraid to ignore and block. Like, I mostly just follow people who post funny memes, but there's a lot of people I follow who are liking and retweeting a lot of this shit, and it's just made my Twitter fucking a sad nightmare. Oh my God, you don't need any more Yakuza games, Rod. More the latter unless you're very talented at art. You do work up through QA? Or is it based on like portfolio and experience? Sorry, I can't remember which one was one and two. They get, at best, a tiny sliver of what marginalized people have to deal with on the daily. I can't even fathom. My personal take is thus. Thematically, the Wizarding World is a place where people who don't fit into the construct of societal norms find solace in self-discovery. The creator can't change that. And, much like with Star Wars, It's not hers anymore. I love that you're saying this because Lizzie and I have had this identical conversation. Like, Lizzie has literally almost said this exact thing. And I'd never heard anyone put it this way before, but I love it. Because a lot of my fucking internal struggle was with all my nostalgia and my happy memories in childhood. Enjoying the books, enjoying the movies, going to the midnight releases, dressing up, blah, blah, blah. And Lizzie said almost the same thing. She can't take those memories from us. She is not a part of them. The creator can't change that, and much like with Star Wars, it's not hers anymore. It belongs to the people who love it and should be made for those people. I think if you love the world, play the game, because it's still the world it was in the beginning with all the wonder and imagination and acceptance it always had. I don't understand why people have to make it like a political thing on Twitter. Just like do it in your own time. If you must. You know? Medieval Melody, how are you, love? Quick Google claims 2.96 billion games exist in the world. Wow. Wow. That's video games. Wow. Wow. I can both 100% agree and also feel a connection with the hold on, babe, someone's wrong on the internet meme. Glacial Cinder! What up, Beach? There was a conversation in Discord where the conversation was happening. Our stance, don't bring it in here. And if someone decides to play it, that's their issue. But if I find out you're harassing anyone, you're out of here. I love that. That's perfect. That's it. And I think, like, that's basically been the unspoken rule of most of our communities forever, regardless. I will not tolerate that kind of hate, shit, harassment in my chat, no matter what. And my mods are even less tolerant than I am. Like, probably just because they see more and catch more. But, like, yeah, 100%. Like, it's never going to be tolerated. I don't care what it is. Oh my God, Najeel, do you have a theme for a story? Oh God. I'm happy I'm in a position where I don't give two shits about what people think about me. It makes my day so much easier. I'm kind of getting to that. Like, I give less and less the older I get, and it's kind of beautiful. It's kind of beautiful. Me too, Melody. I have so many amazing HP memories of going to the midnight releases, reading the books. Like my sister and I, every other book, we would trade who got to read it first because my mom could only afford one. They would come out in hardback and they were like, $35 or something. Those books were huge and stupid. So she would buy one for the whole family. And Sarah and I were the ones that were big readers. So every other book we would trade who got to read it first. And then when the second one got it, the other person would just be like hounding you, like, finish it so we can talk about it. Finish it, finish it, finish it, finish it. So you had to like fly through it. I have those beautiful memories. She can't take those from me and she can't ruin those. And I mean, Lizzie said something really similar and it's just like, it helped me a lot and I love that. I'm not tolerant at all, especially not today. I won't be playing Legacy, but I may go to Universal Studios. The Harry Potter world is pretty fucking magical, and you do get to try butterbeer for the first time ever. Can't lie to you, I have 5 wands. That is proof of how many times I've gone. If I misbehave, tell Alk on top of whatever happens here, she'll ring me out. Tell her so you want to be rung out is what you're saying. Like, I'm on it. The fuck it point? I love that. The fuck it point. I don't feel that way about like streaming and shit. I put more fucking blood and sweat and tears into getting this shit running every day. But like, I remember, I mean, I've told you guys, there used to be a point in my life where I couldn't leave the house without my eyebrows on. Like, I was fucking neurotic about that stuff. And now I like leave the house very filthy and in slippers, and I just give like negative fucks. And it happened very quickly, but it's so relaxing to just like literally roll out of bed with like pillow things and leave the house and not care. Like, I don't realize it. That's a great feeling. I don't know how it happened, but I'm glad it did. Right, Glacial? Yeah. And I'm sure there will be other things like that weren't part of, like, I'm sure fans of Rick and Morty feel a little shitty right now. I just feel really great that I never liked it. Although, oh my God. So, there's fucking hair in my nose. We need to take a break, I just realized, before a fucking ad runs. But, Katsumushi, what is that? Oh my God, what is that? Is that secrets? I won't say anything. That's beautiful, though. Zach sent me a fucking hilarious tweet that I mean, we'll take a break and then we'll watch it. And then I have a tweet from or I have a thing from Glut as well that we were gonna watch. But it's regarding Rick and Morty, and it's fucking funny. HP area is fucking magical, right, dude? Were you at the one in California or Florida? I don't know if the one in California has Diagon Alley. Diagon Alley? Diagon Alley, but Diagon Alley was my favorite. Of course it was. Alien, I kind of do it subconsciously too. Just because that thing makes me feel icky now, so I just naturally don't drift towards it. Super Nintendo World is for hardware gamers only. Oh my god, you know what world I want to go to? Fucking Ghibli Land. What is it called? It's like the land of Ghibli or something like that, but it's basically like Totoro World. It's Totoro World. I want to go so bad! Someday. I went to Christmas Eve with my in-laws wearing fleece-lined leggings and a hoodie and got so many, why are you wearing pajamas? First, I'm not. Second, I want to be comfy. Yeah. I mean, my mom has made comments like, she'll be like, I don't wear stretchy pants because then I can't tell if I'm gaining weight. I'm like, well, I'm an adult and I choose to be comfortable and not give a fuck. I don't know why you torture yourself anymore. Oh, okay, I got it. Thank you. So now we have 3 things to watch. My hip itches. It's so fucking itchy. Owie. Dry skin. Oh my god, I need to catch up on so much chat. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm talking way too much today. If I'm missing anybody, I'm so sorry. I mean, it's fine. Mary, it's fine. I'm really good. I gotta think of a story for Najeel, too. I gotta think of, like, a theme. Oh, Rod, that's the tweet. That's the one we're gonna watch. I liked Rick and Morty in its heyday. I don't feel bad about it. Turns out dude was a shitter. I'm not sad for a time I spent liking it, though. That's exactly how I feel. I don't feel bad that I liked Harry Potter when I did. It was a time. Exactly. That was my only... I watched the first 10 minutes of the first HP movie and decided it was wank. That was my only interaction with the franchise. Beautiful. Exactly, Ghetto. We're the ones that have to sleep at night. And I guess what you guys have really helped me realize is what bothers me is how people feel the need to be so weirdly vocal about it on the internet. And like stir shit. That's the part I think that's weird. California doesn't have Diagon Alley, but it has Ollivanders. We have like Ollivanders is like a ride in the Florida one. Is that how yours is? Like you wait in a line and you go in, it's like a little experience. And someone gets picked and they do the little wand thing. I've done it a million times. I've never been picked, but I don't care. I would be like, please choose the child. Like I'm just here because I'm a nerd. I wear stretchy pants and I can still tell I'm gaining weight. Well, and that's the other thing. Like I wear leggings every day. I can tell if I gain weight. Are you kidding me? Stretchy pants aren't that forgiving, for fuck's sake. I've worn leggings or shorts for like 3 years since COVID. I can never go back to jeans. I don't even think I do not own a pair of jeans anymore. It's so weird. Daniel Radcliffe does the most weird shit, and Daniel Radcliffe's like a really good actor. If you guys haven't seen like Horns, Swiss Army Man, what's another really? I mean, he's that one series where they're dead. Oh God, what was that little series? I don't even know if it was canceled or if it's still on. I'm shaking. I've had too much coffee. Woo! And of course, I left my water in the kitchen. That's okay. We need to take a break, anyways. Horns, Guns Akimbo. Oh my god, thank you. Guns Akimbo is so fucking good. Daniel Radcliffe's phenomenal. He can also rap the entire ABC song. I think. Oh, who sang that? It's a rap from the 90s. And he can do the entire thing by heart. It's incredible. Oh my god, Glacial. Guns Akimbo is one of my absolute favorite movies I've ever seen in my entire life. Hands down. And you know I watch a lot of movies. It's so good. Oh, please watch it. Please. Miracle Workers. Thank you, Genova. Miracle Workers. That's a pretty decent show. It's pretty funny. Dude, Horns was so good, and it didn't get a lot of love. I don't know. A lot of people haven't seen it, but the Weird Al movie. I haven't seen it yet. I still need to watch the Weird Al movie. Sue me. I know. There's a lot of shows out there to watch. I need to watch that one, but I've heard it's great. No, Lizzie. Oh my god. I think you were gone. I think you were off doing something, but dude, Katsumushi said something about the game. This is it. Literally, it's almost verbatim what you said that one time. You and I were talking about it ages ago. And you helped me feel okay with how much I loved Harry Potter and, like, not to feel bad about it. Listen to this. So my personal take is thus. Thematically, the wizarding world is a place where people who don't fit into the construct of societal norms find solace in self-discovery. The creator can't change that, and much like with Star Wars, it's not hers anymore. It belongs to the people who love it and should be made for those people. Are you having fucking deja vu? I started reading that. I was like, wait, what? This is literally where Lizzie and I went, because I felt shitty about liking it, which is, liking it even in the past, which is stupid. I was putting that on myself. Dude, Maisie Williams has done some really cool roles too. Yeah, she's done some really bizarre stuff, and I love it. I love that they've have taken their fame with this huge role they were cast in and gone and just done the most bizarre shit they can. Is it the periodic? No, it's not the periodic table rap. It's literally fuck. It's the ABC's rap. I don't think it's called the periodic table rap. Is it? Why would it be called the periodic table rap? Because he goes through the ABCs. I know he did, but why would it be called the periodic table when he goes through the ABCs? I'm just curious. See, it doesn't make sense, but sure. It's great. If you guys have a link to it, I will play it when we come back. I gotta pee. A slew of additional questions pop up when it's time to draw the line at what you'll purchase and consume. It's the whole Cthulhu franchise tainted beyond morally enjoying it because of the racist who originated it, right? What makes it okay to enjoy it now? The passage of time. Same problem is rising up now over Dungeons and Dragons and WOTC. If you know the top leadership of the brand hold you in contempt and consider you cattle, do you drop a game with a 40+ year history that's been a part of your life forever? Boom. Dude, right, Prelt? They're great movies, and they're just really bizarre, and not a lot of people have seen them. No, Banana, no! Oh my god, thank you. Alphabet aerobics. Thank you, not periodic table. There might be a periodic table rap, but that was 10 million% not what I was referring to. Thank you, Banana. Honestly, I've never had a crush on Daniel Radcliffe in my entire life. He's short, kind of looks too much like the Hobbitses. For me, not my taste. Until I watched this, and then I was like, oh shit. But first, break. Mama's got to pee. Stand up, stretch your dicks, do what you need to do. I put on some good tunes for you. I'll be back in a few. Wow, all the rhymes. Anyways, what was the last song? Ooh, let me see. Excision and Space Laces, Throwing Elbows. Nope, that was not. Nope, what was the last one before this? Monks Falling. I'll give you a link. This one? I got you, boo. Hoe baskets. Baskets of hooer. It's a good song. I don't even know where I fucking found this. Someone, I think, gave it to me on a music day. I gotta think of a story. I owe Najil a fucking story. It's so hard to just pull one out of my asshole. I'll think of one, I promise. Yeah, this is... I don't like that sound. The rest was good. Oh, did I miss them? What up, Sleaze? How are you? Nope, that sound is weird. I like the rest of the song, but that. What is that? It kind of like ruins it. The rest of it was good, but that sound hurt me inside. That gave me sad feelings. A story about my asshole? I don't have any good stories about my asshole. I have a lot of medical stories. I'm trying to think of one that I've never told you guys before. Like, I tried to think of a unique one. Hold on. I gotta find Glutz post. Glutz, right? There is no ethical consumption under capitalism, unless you're completely off grid. But you can pick your battles. HL, not eating Chick-fil-A, not shopping at Hobby Lobby. But if you say you support trans people and can't do something as simple as not play a video game, why should you be trusted with anything more important? Snaps. This is a really good song. I need to smoke pot about it. Very well put. I agree. I mean, there is no moral perfection ever, right? We're just trying our best. And I agree with you, David. Like, I feel like I never want to hurt anyone's feelings ever. Ever. It's bound to happen, however, because I'm human and I'll fuck up. But I hope that I have people around me that I can trust to be like, hey, Katie, that was cunty. So I can be less cunty. Blah, blah, blah. And Alien, that's why I think Glut put the, however, we can do what we can, right? We love you guys. I mean, sometimes, but not like personally. I don't want to like personally attack someone with the full cunt. She's got to stay reined in sometimes, There's a dog hair on me, I swear to God. I went and stared in my mirror in the bathroom and like tried to find a dog hair on my face. I just itch. I don't know. Just not like, there's people that deserve the full cunt, but it's mostly not y'all. I know. Isn't this, is this Lights, the band? Favorite gaming memory? Oh, man. I have a memory that has to do with gaming and the hospital. But I'll think of a favorite gaming memory. But I have you reminded me of a funny story. I think maybe I told this like once or twice. But funny story. So, how's the music level right now? Let me know. It looks like it's going really, really high. So, if it's not, just let me know. I won't touch it. Y'all doing I don't want people to feel bad for enjoying playing D&D with their friends because WOC is going off on a tangent. Same, right? Like, yeah, it's a weird place to be in, and I feel like that's why I'm kind of staying away from the Twitter shift because it doesn't seem like anyone's, there's nothing productive. It's just people being really mean and toxic to each other, and I'm like, that's not going to change anything or do anything. The fuck? We have enough of that in the world. I feel like people take you have to make this right road instead of, can you see this from my perspective? And then everyone else just amps it all up. And then it leads to attacking everyone instead of making allies. Yes. Yep. People start acting like the world's against me. And it's like, are they though? That's extreme. Brings to mind a discussion between Neil Brennan and Taylor Tomlinson about how white knuckling isn't a thing that black people experience. Explain what white knuckling is. It's white knuckling. I'm a silly dumb. I'm so sorry. Moral perfection. Would something like that not require you to know everything about the people you care about and choose to hang out with? I mean, yeah, I don't think there's such a thing, you know? Like, I think the whole idea of any sort of perfection or whatever is a lofty, unrealistic goal. And I think it just leads people to be very, very let down. Like, you're gonna be very disappointed, you know? So, story. I'm gonna take a cheers, then story time because it was literally almost 30 minutes ago. I need to so I don't forget. It's a funny story though. Cheers. I have to remember it all. Fuck, it's been a while. I'm trying to pull the deets out of my brain. They'll get there. Cheers. Oh, is it like that meme? I need a burp. That was terrible. Why do I always need a burp when I take a hit? Why? Burns so bad now. I know, and I had to hold it in to get a burp out. It was terrible. It burns so bad. Ouch. I'm fine. I don't remember what was happening. What is this music? What's happening on my computer right now? We have videos to watch. Before I forget. Oi! I love Slipknot. Yeah. Good plan. No, I have not. Not before it hit. Holy dick farts. Okay, story, then videos. So when you work in surgery, it's really weird. Like, I guess it's only weird if you don't work in a hospital, but the way that they portray everything in medical shows is like completely wrong. It's just bullshit. It's not like the way I've always seen it in a medical show or any show that shows surgery or surgeons is that everyone's like in a locker room together and then they go scrub up together and then they get all dressed up together and then they all go into surgery together. Like it's not in any way, shape, or form like that. Like usually people like the full staff of who is needed for whatever procedure is happening just slowly kind of trickles in as they arrive. It's not like we have to wait. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I have to wait for everyone else to get there before I'm allowed to scrub in. You just kind of like go as you go. And the caveat to it is to remain sterile. You once you're scrubbed up and you get everything on, the gowns that we wear in surgery, they don't have ties. So if you've ever been into an ICU and the patient you were seeing, whether it was family or whatever, had some sort of communicable disease and you had to wear one of those yellow poofy gowns, the paper gowns, and usually it had like that belt paper thing that you would tie around your waist. So we have to remain completely sterile. So once our gloves are on, we can't touch anything. Literally hands up. Like you're out of commission until you get into the OR and you're behind the sterile line, which is usually a table of instruments. And that's when you can start actually touching things because the surgical staff, like the surge techs, their job is to be on the other side of that sterile table and to hand you and supply you with all the sterile things you need so you never have to cross that barrier. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Before you can ever go into OR, once you're up and your hands are up, you have to wait for the next person to come in because there's a tab on your gown and they pull your tab with their unsterile hands and you put your arms up and you spin in a circle and your gown like velcros together and sticks together. So it gets together without you ever touching anything. That's the only caveat to it. So anyways, people just kind of trickle in and half the time I don't even know really what doctors I'm working with when I'm in there unless I super am familiar with them And you guys know I worked in very large hospitals, so I'm not actually like a lot of the time I was working with people, I had no idea who they were, unless it was one of the top surgeons. We just had such a huge staff. And so when you're in the OR, you have so much shit on. You have like multiple masks, you've got your hat thing on, you've got the whole sterile thing on, that the only piece of you viewable is usually this. And usually surgeons have on like these crazy like hobby magnifying glasses things that have like a box coming off of them so they can like see into your pieces really, really closely as they do surgery. So 9 times out of 10, I have no idea who the surgeon is, and I'm just there like assisting, and I do whatever the fuck they want as their RT. And I'm only there if there's a ventilator present usually. So we have this one patient who goes into OR, and that's the details I was trying to pull. Like, I cannot fucking remember what the procedure was, but it was in their neck. I know it was in their neck. I don't know. I feel like it was like an A line gone bad and we were reconstructing the artery or something like that. I have no idea, but it was someone on a ventilator, so I had to fucking be there. And it was a patient where, thank you for the bulb fee, you silly fuck. Thank you so much for subbing the class, keeping the class alive and giving it any swings. I appreciate you, love. So, they're like, the way that the patient had to be positioned, they had to be positioned so they were on their side, on with their shoulders like this to the table, one shoulder down, because when you have a lung that has collapsed because something anatomically has gone wrong, we usually put the good lung up, good lung down, depending on whatever the surgeon's fucking doing. So one lung's down, one lung's up, and then they're doing surgery in the neck here, and they're butterflying here, doing something. They're reconstructing something. I don't fucking remember. It's been a while. But when we butterfly someone, basically, it's just an easier, less traumatic way of accessing the lung tissue than slicing through your sternum. We usually only go through your sternum if it's open. That's the definition of open heart surgery. We are fucking breaking your breastplate in half. And that recovery time and etc. is insane. So if we don't need to access that part and we're just going into a lung for some reason, we usually do what's called a butterfly. We just cut your ribs with a little saw, like a right here, and clamshell you open, and your lung only expands to a certain point and contracts to a certain point because of your thoracic cavity. It contains your lungs. Without your thoracic cavity, your lungs just go whoop. It's crazy. They just like burst out of your side and blow up really, really big and get huge. It's wild. And so that happened. And because of the position of the patient and because they were doing all this weird extraneous stuff and because the lung was outside of the body, the amount of volume that the lung was able to take in every breath was astronomically more theatrical than any human should be able to take in. You know what I mean? So the average person, like adult, usually takes somewhere between 6 and 8 liters of air per breath. And this guy was taking like 15. I don't even know if it was a guy or girl. Honestly, their face was covered. This patient, 15 liters because of this lung. So because of this, there's no feasible way to set the alarms on a ventilator higher than, like 8 or 9 liters. Because higher than that would theoretically pop you, would burst things inside of your body. So, like, as a safety measure to make sure I don't fuck people up, but as well, just that's, like, you know what I mean? It's like making a speedometer on a car go to 200 miles an hour when the car, like, literally cannot go faster than 60 miles an hour. There's no point. So they don't have those settings. So because of that, I have to be present, and literally every single 30 seconds, I have to mute the alarm and sit there and, like, hold this person's body in this really weird position so their lung doesn't blow up. And it was bizarre. It was like 6-hour surgery with multiple masks on. No one died of CO2 poisoning. Amazing. Crazy. Wild. And I'm sitting here like muting the ventilator just over and over and over because he's fine. Like, that's why I'm here, to make sure that even though the ventilator's alarming, the patient's actually fine. I just literally can't tell the ventilator to go any further than it is. And the surgeon, there was only like one surgeon, I think. There was like maybe 2, but the other guy was somewhere else. I didn't see him. There was one surgeon, and we were really, really close to each other. And I have like this shield. They have these huge, they look like plexiglass shields that hang from the ceiling from like these weird, like mechanical arms that you can just pull down from the ceiling and hold in front of yourself if they're ever just doing constant x-rays or some sort of scans of the patient in surgery. Because usually that's what's happening. Every time they do anything, they're like, all right, one more scan, do it. And so it's really, instead of, putting those huge magnetic aprons on every fucking 30 seconds and then taking them off, and now you're not sterile, so on and so forth. You can see where that goes. We can just pull down these huge shields. They're made of something that protects you from the radiation. So I've got one of those between us. It's like a body shield of this glass. And I'm holding the person's arm around it like this, and I've got the ventilator on this arm, just like muting it. And this is the part that I fucking can't remember. I can't remember how we got to this conversation. But he said something about some vessel in the neck and how he was about to be finished constructing it. And I mumbled very lowly under my breath in a fairly loud OR. Like, things were going off. That alarm thing was going off constantly. The patient's like making weird sounds and shit. And I said very lowly under my breath, with like 4 masks on top of me, I said, "You must construct more pylons." Just to myself, as a nerd would. This was years ago. And the surgeon, like, with tools in hand, looks up and goes, "Do you play video games?" And I just, like, froze in place, and then he goes, "Are you on Twitch?" Fucker recognized me from Twitch, like, had seen me somewhere on Twitch. I'd never worked with this person in my life. I think it was a student doc. It was the weirdest, because all there is this of us. That's all you can see. And he's got, like, these block glasses on, so I don't see anything. I see, like, this coming out of him. It was so fucking weird. And then we just, like, stood there inside, and then he, like, clicked back into, "Oh, well, I guess I have to do this." And it just stopped. The conversation stopped, and that was it. That was it. That was it. It was so weird. And then I had to stand there for 6 hours with him in, like, very awkward, slicey, bloody silence with the fucking, beep, beep, no, beep, beep shit. It was weird. It was such a weird time. It was weird. I've only been recognized ever twice. That was once, and then once was by a patient while I had my hand on his femoral artery next to his penis, and he had a boner. That was weird, too. "We must construct additional pylons." I didn't have an OnlyCans at the time. Thank fuck. Because I've known a lot of nurses who get fired over that shit, which is hilarious because I guarantee they make way more money on the OnlyCans. Oh my God, right, Lizzie? Do you remember that one? I haven't told that one forever. It was medical ninja interrogation. Like, I don't know how the fuck. I have no idea. And then, just to, like, to tie up the story, this was, I think, months later. I didn't remember the pylons story. And there's a surgeon just, like, wandering around neuro, and it wasn't neuro, but I was working in neuro for the night. And there was a surgeon just wandering around before or after a procedure. I don't fucking know. They mostly just, like, wander around, drink coffee, and stare at us. And he's like, just standing like this with like a foam cup of coffee, like leaning on the nurse's station, sipping it. And I walk by because I'm going to a patient or something, and I hear, "You must construct more pylons, ClassyKatie." But I, like, you guys, I've told you this before, like, in the moment, I am not clever, and I just freeze up, and I don't know what to do, so I just kept walking. I was like, I made that up in my head. Like, that's not a real thing that just happened, so I just kept going like it didn't happen. Ever. Fucking weird. It was fucking weird. Maybe it was neuro. I never saw him. I never saw this person. Ever. I have no idea who the surgeon was. I know they were a shorter white dude with blue eyes. That's all I got. And they do throat surgery. He might be ENT. I don't know. That was it. It was so fucking weird. I was so uncomfortable. And that's when Katie probably missed an opportunity to date a doctor. Oh my God, I would never. I would never. I like my partner to be around sometimes. Banana, thank you for gifting 3 months of a sub to Katsumushi. I appreciate you, love. I'm sorry if I missed anything while I was on a tangent of the story, but there was that part I just can't remember, like, what he was doing. I know it was in the patient's neck, but my brain, I cannot remember. It's weird. If my blood sugar could not be 49, oh my God, what do you do when it's low like that? All your bases belong to us. Dude, for real. He's here today. Can you imagine? That'd be so funny. I mean, what if it was neuro this whole time? It wasn't brain surgery, though, and a neurosurgeon does neurosurgery. Like, they weren't in the spinal cord. That would have needed way more people than just me. I have no fucking idea. Katie, I like when the people I date are around a little bit. Decides to get a date. I know. We don't all make great decisions. True, you're right. No, it wasn't Neuro. Neuro does not have blue eyes. Nope. And I think Neuro's taller than this dude. Just bait. He was sitting in a chair most of the time, but he had really short legs. I was standing the whole time. I know, it's terrible. But, like, honestly, I think it's because I, too, like to stay busy, kind of, and, like, constantly I'm doing things, and I would feel bad if someone was just sitting around waiting for me. So like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Maybe it's like a subconscious thing. Honestly, the being not around, like the not being around all the time didn't bother me. It was the fact that they would come home and be like, only 17 people told me to kill myself today. I'd be like, I'm sorry, what? And they have one person to monitor the entire forum for the game. You're just like, sick, sick. Anyways, I pulled up this video. I think this is the one Glut gave me like hours ago. I'm sorry I take so long. Shoot orange juice like a sorority sister trying to forget what's going to happen that night. Oh my God. That's wildly specific. That weirdly reminded me of a TwitchCon. The second day we were just getting there and I was showing X-Psych her first TC. Genova was there too. Some random guy like across the square was just yelling my name. So I looked across, waved, and then just whispered to X-Psych, I don't know who the fuck that is. At least you were still nice and waved. Because I've definitely been that person who screams someone's name and I'm wrong. And they just do like the... And I'm like, oh. Like just, you know, pretend. Oh, wait, sad news. I don't think they made those edible cookies I usually eat. No. Aw, man. Maybe they're just out because it was a bad batch or something. That's sad. I really feel like people in our real life should have the courtesy to act like our online lives don't exist. It's fine if you discover something I do online, but please don't tell me about it. Yeah. You know what's weird? Still to this day, there's a couple respiratory therapists from my very first hospital I ever worked at who will pop into chat, and I know their usernames. And they won't directly say anything to me. They'll just once in a while comment in chat, and I'm like, bitch, I see you. I fucking see you. Hi. But I don't call them out. But they're there. Every once in a while I see them. It's bizarre. I've been spending most of my life trying to convince my mom that people I meet from online aren't going to murder me. You know, I spent a really long time trying to with my mom with that one because I kept going to cons. I mean, even after I'd gone to a couple cons, she was still like, "Are you really safe? Are you like extremely safe?" And I had to be like, "Mom, you realize that these internet people you keep villainizing, I am them." Like, and I'd go as far to say as a good portion of them are super similar to me and that we're just like shut-in nerds who like to do things alone. Like completely. And then bitch about being lonely. But like people are complicated, so like it's fine. You know? And that I think is the first time she was like, something clicked in her head. She was like, oh. Because logically you can't go against that argument. If I'm your only source of these villainous internet people that you know, like there's bad people everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's online or not. What up, sheepy? How are you, love? Oh my god, the cinnamon, but the cinnamon with I love the cinnamon. Some of us are probably more scared that you're gonna harvest our organs. I would never. Where the fuck? What am I gonna do with the organs? Unless I'm at PAX East, it's not a concern because PAX East is the only place cold enough to keep them fresh. If someone can kidnap me, we don't want to fuck with them anyways. I mean, that too. I think that, honestly, like, you have to be BDO to kidnap me, essentially. Not a small person. Or maybe have a wheelbarrow and a lot of drugs. I don't know. I'm not a nerd. You're a delight. Okay. Me neither. I'm in this picture and I don't appreciate it. Right? But that makes sense. But people, like, they'd rather sensationalize the internet people as, like, we're all just creepy murderers or creepy, like, in our mom's basements eating Hot Pockets, like that one fucking South Park episode, which, I mean, I'd love to live off my parents and eat Hot Pockets all day. That'd be great. However, that's dumb logic. Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. Hot Pockets. Hi, Mickey. How are you, love? There are bad people everywhere. And you know that's actually a psychosis that happened. When I was in college, we were learning about it. So it's got to be even worse now if they didn't do anything about it. But what was happening was because of this whole internet, generation, the people born into the internet generation happened. Their parents, in order to keep them safe, quote unquote, they would tell them, and I mean, I was kind of part of it, even though we didn't, I don't know. I wasn't born into it. I don't know. I'm a millennial, whatever. There was a generation of people who have lived most of their lives with technology, let's say that, at easy access. What they did is they would tell us everyone on the internet is out to kill you. They're all fucking Wayne Gacy or whatever, and they're going to clown you or something. And what happened was when you did that to children, their brain would develop in a way that they believed that everyone that wasn't on the internet, so every single person IRL, was safe. Everyone. It was black and white thinking. It was if you were on the internet, you were probably a rapist, and if you were IRL, you were safe granny that was going to buy me chocolates and teach me how to cook bread or some shit, you know? And that's not fucking safe in any way, shape, or form at all. Like, the fuck? You want all convicted murderers? I mean, convicted's a really strong word. It's a really strong word. I'd scoop you up, no problem. I'm saying, like, you're one of the few, though. You would cast resin in those organs and display them. I mean, do they rot still, though? Because, I mean, I don't want a rotten heart, but, like, I'd go for a heart. That'd be pretty cool. We'll go to some awesome restaurant. Every member of the group will report back that they were kidnapped. No! Not yet, anyways. My favorite Hot Pocket was those ham and cheese ones, man. I'm about to cheers with you. My throat was real dry, sorry. I've drank so much water, though. I'm trying to chill. I've already drank 2 of these. Almost 3. Don't want to overwater. Dude, right? Everywhere there's danger, and to teach someone that it's literally only one group of humans is especially, and you think about it, like, I think about people my age, like, my mom, I remember when we first got the internet, I was, like, in high school, and she told me, "It is the scariest place on earth. Do not talk to anyone. Do not give any personal information out. Your name, nothing. Color of hair, color of skin, color of eyes, nothing. Because everyone is going to come to our house, steal everything we own, and kill you and your sisters." Like, that was the mentality I grew up with. And, you know, I was a very obstinate child and was like, fuck you, I'm going to play online games. And, you know, was quickly learned that there's a few creepos on the internet, but most people are just like me. It's just like shut-in creeps. We're creeps, but, like, not creeps. You know what I mean? And it took, like, years for my mom to finally believe that, because I literally had to become an internet person for her to be like, okay, that's fine. And then she met Zach, and I'm like, okay, now there's 2. There's 2. Have you ever met the knots? Like, I just don't, you gotta stop doing that, man. If they're in a block of solid plastic, doesn't matter. I mean, I just want to look at the heart. Like, I don't want to have, like, a black sludge. You know what I'm saying? You already have our hearts. In jars under my bed, though. I'm gonna petition really damn hard. I've heard they don't even let people keep their appendix or something, which seems weird. Oh my god. I don't understand why someone would take someone else's organs when they can't even play piano. My god. I mean, you still don't put your personal info out there, absolutely. But I mean, I feel like that's just kind of, again, you can't assume this, but common sense. Like, I'm not out walking around with my name and date of birth and social security number on my hoodie as I'm walking through the streets either, you know? Have you ever met 2 internet people? Maybe. Sorry, cheers. This conversation at the Brit Awards would sound very different. Really? See, what I've learned, I guess, just in, like, you know, whistleblower shit, I guess. It's not even really a conspiracy. Like, it's pretty well known that almost all of the awards, if not all of the awards in the US, are completely rigged. Like, movie awards, music awards, whatever. The people who vote, it's kind of ridiculous. A good example is, if you guys heard about that stupid show Emily in Paris that was on Netflix, that, you know, it ran away with all of the awards, and yet none of us saw it. It's because they took the entire group of voting people to Paris for a weekend to view the movie in a Paris setting. I mean, it's just kind of wild what they can do. You know what it's just wild. Wild. I mean, I've never been interested in awards shows because 9 times out of 10, I don't even know the fucking movies that are being nominated. I'm like, what is this shit? Yeah, it's a bunch of wealthy people, like, trading shit back and forth. Yeah, that's what it's always felt like, regardless of whether or not that's exactly what it is. Super easy to crochet well without looking. Knitting requires a lot more attention. And maybe I'm too used to paying attention. I don't know. I might be broken. It's always a subgroup, right? Yeah. Okay, sorry, we have another one. I thought about seeing it. Maybe they counted that. I thought about it too because it was number 1. And I didn't. I heard it was terrible. And I heard that the French in general were highly offended by it. And they were like, France is not all about fashion and romance and Paris. My God, can we not? It's 2020 or whenever the fuck it happened. See, I just get fucked up with crocheting. I just cannot get into a flow at all. I don't know what it is. I get fucked every time. In 1977, Annie Hall won out over Star Wars at the Oscars. Yeah. SNL actually did a pretty decent skit recently where they I think it's like a Jeopardy-like show, but it's based on new release movies, and no one knows anything new that's ever come out. Like, they actually said a show. They're like, and the number 1 show on Netflix right now across the nation is. I didn't know it. I'd never even heard of it. It is the number 1 right now. I just don't get it. I don't understand. Oh, Bernie's calling out the Starbucks CEO for union busting and will subpoena him to compel him to testify. That's beautiful. Class inequality in Britain is significantly different to the US. So regardless of what he did or didn't mean, it's one of those conversations that feels difficult to translate. I mean, I get 100%. Yeah. 100%. But just like she went to the place my mind went to within a second was just like, what the fuck does he mean by that? A rich white dude who's pretty doesn't win awards? Bitch, you won life. I don't know. That's where my brain went. But I'm not an educated person. I'm not educated in those areas. I'm very ignorant. I just that's face value. That's face value. That's it. Really? See, and maybe that's what it is, Void. Like with knitting, your fingers are less involved. Like you're mostly just pushing shit off the needles. And in crocheting, there's a lot of your fingers and your hand involved. And I just get confused. I think my brain is split in half or something. You know, Viata, I have like 15 open emote slots. If you can come up with an idea for a glomp emote, I'll put one in. I'll try to make one, get one. I'll do something. I don't know. I don't know what that would be though. What other video did I have? Hold up. Did I lose it? Oh, this was Daniel. This is the one that I wanted to show you guys because this was one of the most impressive things I've ever seen Daniel Radcliffe do. And this was years ago. When was this? This was 8 years ago. Oh my God, this is literally the year I started streaming. Grotesque. Grotesque. Ugh. Gotta fight the good fight, especially when you're losing. You try, right? Hi, Dragon. How are you? My mom's great at anything involving a lot of manual dexterity. She's got arthritis now. Oh my God. Is she still able to knit or anything? Fuck, that's sad. The entire point of that was the discussion on white fragility. She alluded to it in a tweet, and white people tracked her down to tell her the context of what he meant. No, I love it. I love it. No, that was great. It's true. I mean, it's yeah. Yeah. The Netflix series he did with John Hamm that Daniel Radcliffe did? Maybe. What was it called? It sounds stupid familiar. Oh my God, Daniel Radcliffe truly is small. I mean, I think that's why child actors are kind of cast. I think part of it is like, how tall do you think they're going to be? Because they got to stay small for a very long period of time, right? I don't know. I think there's probably a science to it, which is gross, but probably. Sorry, cheers. I have a couple other videos I wanted to show you guys. I have to pee so fucking bad right now. So I have to take a break. Because if I don't, I'm going to pee my pants. It's got to happen. But let me grab these real quick. Hold up. I am so hydrated. It's because I wake up so fucking dry. And then I just gargle fucking water. Oh, it's the pizza one? Oh, shit. Okay, I'm excited. This is the same person? Mac Lethal. I think I know this name. What else have they done? Their name sounds so familiar to me. I don't know. That's weird. C-Town, I'm so sorry. You mean, what's it called? Vocal Fry? Vocal Fry. The Kardashian. I I just can't even. It's like, whatever. It's like, did you even fucking see what Kim did? Bitch. Yeah, that. Oh, the clicker. I didn't think I sounded too much like a clicker. I think I sound more like the girl from The Grudge. I don't think I can get to clicker. Aren't clickers a little... Why are you like this today? All day our dogs have been neurotically annoying both of us, and we're both just like really over it. And I don't know what to do. It's because there's a squirrel in our yard and they want to kill it. But they just will not sit down. They're fucking insane today. It's so annoying. I love my dogs so much, but damn, dude. Wait, nerdy white kid I was so scared. The only part that came up on the title of that was bad. I thought this was like a news story and I was nervous. No, it's totally fine. I'm going to apologize to them by letting them go outside and run this energy out for a few minutes on my break because they are just... They won't go away. They've been doing this since 6 a.m. and I just kind of want to like vomit on them. But I love them so much. I love you. But I'm not going to make eye contact with you because you drive me insane. But I do love you. They're insane today. A CO volcano. Can you imagine? The image of you just vomiting on them. Equally horrendous and so funny. Imagine if I could do that on command. I gotta save these videos before we go. Hold up. Hold up. I have so much I wanted to show. I feel like 2 days gone. I just have so much and too much I want to show you guys and talk about. It's terrible. I have too much. I've got two. Oh God, I closed something. I don't think no. I clicked too quickly because I gotta pee. It's terrible. What's a Phyrexian? Deal. I won't vomit on you though. You made mommy mad. Don't make me get out the gag reflex. Shut the fuck up. That's okay, David. I'm about to step away. I gotta pee so bad. It's better than a squirrel for these dogs. Like, no interactive toy, no Kong, no bone. There is nothing more fun than trying to murder a squirrel. I just fucking Christ, man. That they tease the dogs. Oh, they absolutely do. Like they can get away so fucking easily, but they'll crawl up like a telephone pole, just high enough away from my dogs, and sit with their head on the lower part and like chitter and chat at the dogs. And I know that they're known for like baiting dogs away from their babies, but we don't fucking have any treat. They don't live in our yard. They just come to our yard to try to rip our trash open. There's no trash, though. I don't know why the fuck it's in my yard right now. Probably eating my grass seed, bastards. I'm the same, but with cheese. I mean, you're saying there's nothing in this world that could get your attention over cheese. I mean, my dogs literally go into like a psychosis and start screech barking if they see one of these squirrels and they can't get to it until it's out of their sight. So, like, my plan this spring is to plant some trees to create a blockage of the eye line of my neighbor's yard, because I think that's where the squirrels live, because they have like a forest in their yard. They are assholes. They're tree rats. They're tree rats. They're tree rats. They get into my trash. They rip shit open. They rip dog food open. You screech bark at boobs? That's not safe. Sticking your head into tree branches and just sitting there. My dog's like, the way our yard is by where the house is, it's level with the house. And then the rest of the yard, we have basically like a double lot. Like the entire rest of our yard is a whole other lot for another house. And it's a hill down. And then the neighborhood goes down a hill. And they sit at the top of the hill. Like I say it's like Simba lions all the time. They both have their spots and they have that perfect like poodle posture. And they just sit and look out over the like treetops, just like for hours. They'll do that until they see something, a fucking squirrel or anything. They just survey their land and they love it. I don't know, man. I'm sure if they had tree branches, they'd stick their head in them. Probably. We do have, they like to eat tree leaves, which is weird. Like, we've got a couple little trees that are like, trying to bust up out of our ground near the shed and shit. Every year we chop the fuck out of them because they're just invasive, but the dogs try to eat them. I have a random question to pose to chat if people are comfortable with answering. Other than actually peeing, pooping, perioding, and cleaning, if you spend time, a good amount of time on the loo, how long, why are you doing? What are you doing? I am one of those people, and honestly, it's the only place in the house that has a lock and I can get away from the dogs. So sometimes I will literally pee, wash my hands, and then lean against a wall and stare at my phone for an hour. Just in solitude. It is the one place in the house I can get solitude. I assume it's for similar reasons for other people. Yeah. Sometimes it's literally disassociating. Yeah. I love my dogs, but our house is really small. And days like today where this is abnormal. They're abnormally anxious for some reason. I just don't know what to do. I get anxious because I feel like I'm not doing good as a dog parent. I'm like, I don't know what to do for you. We have all the toys, all the fucking interactive, like learning toys and all this fucking shit. We have a huge yard. I don't know what to do. I take them for runs in the morning. Like beyond that, I don't know what to do. So I feel helpless. Like I essentially equate it to when a baby cries for no reason. And parents are just like, I don't know what to do. Like it's fed, it's changed, it's just crying. That's the dogs today. And I just get overwhelmed by it. And I don't have any, like, our house is so fucking small that there isn't, like, I'm on literally the opposite corner of the house to Zach, and I can still hear him at full volume. I could dictate him. That's how small my house is. So there's nowhere to go to be away from anything. So sometimes, like, you go to pee and you're like, wow, it's really quiet in here. God, this feels nice. And you just end up leaning against a wall with your phone for an hour. Sometimes, not really an hour. It feels like it. It's just honestly, it's like a moment where I'm not being poked and prodded or yelled at or asked something. I don't know. Sometimes I lay in our empty tub and watch videos on my phone. I literally take baths to do that sometimes. I take a bath and I'll just lay there for hours watching movies until the water gets cold because it's just quiet. I'm all business. The rest of my rooms are way more fun. So if I don't have some objective in the bathroom, I'm not in there. I feel that. C-Town, and that's the thing. Like, I just don't know what else to do. Like, I feel like I'm doing everything I can other than, I don't know what else to do. I have all, like, the puzzle toys. I take them for runs and walks. They play outside. Like, what else do you do for a bored dog? I'm not gonna take them hunting. And this time of year, I literally, you know what I think it is? This is just a theory. My lips are peeling because they're so dry. I'm so sorry. It's gross. This is just theory, but I think because the weather's starting to warm up a little bit, we're getting like that tease of spring that's not really spring. You know the one. It happens in Washington too. It's like for some reason in February the sun comes out and it gets a little warm and things start to bloom, and then March hits and it's like 1 foot of snow, cunt, and here you are. And because it's getting nice, the dogs are getting like that. Let's go to the mountains because as soon as we can, as soon as those roads open up, I go to the mountains with them and let them just run. But all the roads are still closed because it's still like frozen up there. It's like snowpack frozen, like I'm even with my Jeep, I'm not getting there. They're literally closed. The roads are, so I can't take them. So I think it's partially that a little bit. Like they're feeling it. What's the square footage of your house? It's only one floor. Honestly, I don't know. I'm really bad at even recognizing what the fuck square footage is. I don't know. Zach might know, but I honestly have no fucking idea. I could ask him. Scott would maybe know. I don't remember. Nah, dude, C-Town, I agree with you. It's just, that's where my anxiety stems from is I know they're bored and I don't know what to do. Najil, there are a few, but they're fucking disgusting. Because we're in Colorado, there's no greenery, there's no grass, there's no trees, there's no nothing. So they're literally usually kind of a plot of land smaller than my yard, fenced in, full of dog shit. I've taken my dogs once or twice, and I'm just like, this is fucking foul. Like, when we get home, I feel like I need to bleach my dogs off. It's just, they're kind of gross. It's just, they're too small and compact, and a bunch of big dogs are in there. It's fucking gross. I don't sit on the loo. I mean, but my bathroom's actually fucking hot. There's a vent in there, and for some reason, our bathroom just heats up crazy fast. A Zen tent. My girlfriend made one out in our apartment before we moved in the house. She had it soundproofed with a mini garden in it. It looked like fun. My ADHD brain only lasted 2 minutes in there though, but still. Dude, I totally get that. I kind of want to do like a greenhouse because I'm the same. Super AD. I need something to do. I need a project. And so if it was a greenhouse, kind of like the same effect, right? But I'd be like planting and repotting or something. Son, hey guys, did you miss me? Now miss me more. Disappears for 3 months. Yeah. I hate it. Really? Oh, that sucks. Yes, Cake, we've tried, and they do love the puzzle boxes and toys, but the moment they figure, they're so smart, they figure them out, and then they're over them. You know what I mean? Once they figure them out, they're done. They're just like bored. And I get it. I'm kind of the same way. Like, I don't want to do the same puzzle over and over. Oh my God, no. Owners are disgusting. The amount of human beings I've seen fake pick up their dog shit at the dog parks around here, yeah. We live really close to an elementary school, thankfully. So when the kids are out, I can usually take the dogs down there and just let them run because they have a huge grassy area. I mean, it's enormous. But I've seen people go there and do the same, and they let their dogs just take these enormous, like, dumps as big as my fucking forearm in the children. Like, you're going to ruin this for everybody. You realize that, right? I don't get it. It's disgusting. I think it's illegal here too. I think you can get a big fine from cops if you don't pick up your dog shit. Am I wrong? If you get caught, but I can't remember the last time I saw a police officer. I would love to play chess with them if I could. So, Cake, honestly, what my goal is I love the idea of agility stuff. I used to do 4-H with my dogs, and I used to do agility stuff, and I think what I've been doing is I've been researching like how to create a yard that's like, still a really fun oasis for me to garden and put whatever I want in it, but it's like dog friendly because I don't want to plant a bunch of nice plants and then have my dogs just fucking like barrel over it and tear everything out. And there are a lot of cool like DIY tutorials and shit like that on Pinterest on how to make like, you know, I'm trying to think of an example. Like your garden, you can make your garden look like a Zen garden. But the little bridge going over the water feature is actually a dog agility bridge. Does that make sense? And they'll have all sorts of stuff like that throughout the garden that's kind of like integrated in and hidden, but it's absolutely meant for your dogs to just plow through and like have like it's hardy enough, and usually whatever's planted around it isn't going to be uprooted. Yeah, that's what I want to do, like barrels and shit like that. I think they would fucking cuz they love to play tag. They love to chase each other and play tag all the fucking time. And I think if I made places where they could hide, because they do that in my house, we have like this stupid, no reason wall just planted in the middle of the big open area of the house, and they run around it in circles and like, go back and forth across the wall all the time. And I think they'd have a goddamn blast. So that's kind of my goal to do once our yard doesn't, like right now, I literally can't walk through my yard without losing my shoes. My shoes would get like quicksand sucked in and I'd die. It's so bad. The mud is horrible. So once I can walk through this shit, that's my absolute goal because I think they'd have a fucking blast. But I have to establish some sort of root structure in the fucking yard because I feel like if I don't do that first, like something like that, then all the work I put in is going to be destroyed once it snows and then all melts. It's just going to turn to mud. So I've been doing this thing. It's called I don't know. I want to say reseeding, but it's not reseeding. But it's essentially a way to grow a really thick turf in your yard that's deep rooted. So what I read is like I didn't want to do grass. You guys know that we live in the desert and that's a lot of water and that's stupid. So we're doing this thing called white clover, which apparently creates a really, really good solid like turf for your yard. but is drought tolerant, so on and so forth. But with the kind of like super loose, muddy clay soil I have, it can literally create like a sheet of turf that will just slide, like the whole sheet of like the whole grass yard will start to slide down the hill. Like it'll just disconnect from the ground because the roots aren't deep enough. I guess I'm not that smart. Mickey probably know more plants people. So what I did is at the beginning of the winter, before it snowed, I grassed the seed or I put the seed all over the yard for the white clover. And then when it snows, apparently, allegedly, this is what I read. When it snows, it packs that really deep into the dirt. It like weighs it down because the snow here is really heavy. And then then when it thaws, you do more seeding, and then the snow does it again. And you just do this all winter long. So you're basically shoving layers of the clover seed deeper and deeper into the ground. And the ones that are able to will proliferate, but have a much deeper, like more secure root structure or something, just so my yard isn't a fucking pit. Hi, JJ. How are you, love? How are you feeling? I know, it's weird. Well, we're in a really weird area where we're also like, we don't get rain, but the snow melting is a crazy problem. Like, we get mudslides and shit like that if you don't have anything growing. And last year we kind of did like the weed mat because our whole yard was just weeds. Like it was like milkweed and all this crazy. I identified all the plants with Google identification and shit. It was just a bunch of weeds, and so we did the whole like cover it in fucking mulch and then cover it in that weed cloth and let it just die over the summer. And now I'm trying to put in like, you know, healthy stuff. It's called xeriscaping. It's like where you're not wasting water, but you're still able to plant and garden and stuff like that. Feeling and looking amazing. Good. I'm glad. And snow's an insulator. True. I heard this, Mishy, correct me if this might be total bullshit, but I read this on one of the websites when I was reading about grass, just creating some sort of turf in Colorado. What they said is that the grass seed that survives the overwintering process in the snow will actually be hardier grass. Like, will be a hardier plant. Is that real? It feels like some magic bullshit, but I don't know anything about plants. I'm trying. Clover is supposed to be great. White, I think it's called Dutch clover, and it's not like a crazy invasive species. You're not bringing in something that's going to destroy the local landscape, but I've heard it's really, really good for people that live in an area where you don't want a mud pit for a yard. Like, you have a yard that needs something, but you don't want to, grass is such a fucking waste of time. So you're like exactly. Literally, you're like impacting because it's the way, I mean, if I could just maybe I'll take a video. I'll put on some old shoes and go walk in the yard, and I'll take a video of what it's like to walk in my yard right now. You literally sink down easily a couple inches at least, and then it comes up around your shoe. It's like clay. If you imagine a yard of clay. That's what it's like walking in my yard right now. It is a nightmare. It's so weird. So it's really loose, so it's easy for those seeds to get packed into it. This is like Colorado advice. I researched a lot of it because I cannot stand this stuff. No, it's clay. So in the summer, what happens is it cracks. So my yard literally looks like the fucking every scene from Five Goes West. No shit. If there's no plants, my yard just like it's like cracks, like ravines down my yard that'll be a foot deep where the clay has just split. It's wild. Oh, exactly. I mean, you only rarely have one kind of grass in an area you live, so you like newer trying anything else. Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. And there's a lot of natural grasses in Colorado and stuff, but I don't want to, I don't want to like plant something in my yard that's gonna seed my neighbor's yard and be like an invasive weed that they're gonna get pissed at me about. That was my biggest concern. You know what I mean? It doesn't get sharp, thankfully. It's very soft and it's like powdery. You can just like brush it away. It's very weird. It's just totally different, but it's not sand. It's clay. Like, it is sticky fucking shit. And it's like Lilith's feet. If it's disgusting outside and I let them stay outside for too long, her feet will go from like a normal foot, they quadruple in size because the clay gets bunched up in her webbed toes and then she can't close her toes. So she starts walking like a duck. And it's just like these clots of fucking mud. It's terrible. Clay mud. Hello, Void Kitty. Give Void Kitty love. I'm glad it's not sharp. That'd be sick. We do have sharp, prickly weeds that grow all the time, though. Like, every prickly, sharp, little, dangerous plant grows here. Walking barefoot outside is a nightmare, which is another reason why I'd really like to get some sort of something growing in my yard that's not those. Like, I'd like it to grow before any of that has a chance to. Smother it out. And I guess white clover is really good at that too, because the clover itself, has its little leaves, so it takes the sunlight and drowns out anything trying to grow under it. I guess. Yes, it literally. Yes. Like clay you could make cups with. You probably could. No, you absolutely could. Once you get down 4 inches, it's just the color changes. It's really interesting. There were so my house was owned by hoarders years and years and years ago, and the house was almost condemned. So what the hoarders solution was to put all of their hoarder nonsense in the yard and bury it. So every once in a while something really dangerous starts poking up in the yard and I have to dig it out, like a shattered glass jar which sliced up my dog's foot last summer. Or a Barbie head, or, I didn't have to dig that up, but you know what I mean? Every once in a while, things just start to come up through this mud. And so I've had to dig down, and once you get down 3 inches, the color of the dirt is completely different. It goes from being like a, sandy beigeish red tone to just gray. Just like gray. And you can sit there and pull it apart. It's clay. It's just pure clay. Once you get about 4 inches down, it's pretty wild. Yes! That's exactly it. Yes, that's my yard, minus the grass. Yeah, literally glacial. Boosh, that's it right there. No shit. It's a completely different color and it's just fucking clay. And that's what creates like this mud pit in my yard. That's my yard. Thankfully, I live at like the top of a hill, so the water mostly drains away and we don't end up sticky for a long time. But with this snow, it's just stayed for so long and it's like it's taken its sweet fucking time to melt, is all I'm saying. So I'm in like permanent mud town. Oh my god, how do you only have one plate of nachos? That's incredible. The US is wild. Well, if you think about it, the US has like every biome. I mean, Washington State alone, I think, has every biome in it. I think there's a couple states. There's like a handful of states in the US who literally have every biome. Like they have a rainforest, they have tundra, they have that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird. We're a very strange place. And everywhere is so different. Like when I lived in Maryland, for instance, we had the same kind of problem, but it was swampy. So instead of having like a really muddy yard that was just like this sticky clay stuff that like pulls your shoe off if you walk through it, you would walk through the grass, and when you step down, 3 inches of water would just rise out of the ground everywhere you went. It didn't rain, by the way. And there was grass, like you're still walking on a fully turfed grass lawn. You know what I'm saying? But like there's 3 inches of water just like a sponge. And that was everywhere. It is very bizarre. And then Washington State, where it literally rains 24/7, it's fine. You won't sink in the ground at all. I don't know. The world is weird. Cheers. Netter. I'm glad to know you. You're amazing. You make me feel very welcome. Thanks for the comfy, chill, and good streams. Now I also have to go get ready, but just want to say you're amazing. Have a wonderful rest of stream. Netter, thank you for the kind words. I love you. Be safe. Cheers, and have a wonderful day. Thank you, my love. It's pretty hard. So like Glacial can probably attest to this. So basically there's like that one layer of like the sandy brownish shit, and then you get to the clay. The clay's not a huge layer. I'd say the clay is maybe like a foot, and then it's rock. It's rocks. Everything here is rocks. So I'm actually kind of dreading digging holes for trees this spring because I do want to put some trees in my yard, again, to help with root structure, but also for some privacy, some wind control. It gets fucking wildly windy here. Like pick up your fence and take it away windy. And I want to put some trees in, but I'm dreading it because I'm going to have to go past that rock layer. I have like 3 different shovels just to get into that rock layer. I have like a spade and a nice flat head, and then like this weird, like a pole digging type, like the 2-handle, just to get the rocks out because they can be like boulders. It's wild. People digging down to later of doll heads and plastic bags and yeah, and going, "Oh yeah, that's the time that humans lived." Honestly, David, I've pulled out stuff that's like from the 60s. This is old stuff coming out of my yard and it's horrifically dated. I've saved all of it. I have it all. It's very creepy. Are they up there? There were two little figurines. I can never remember where I put them because they creep me out. But I keep finding these little like they're like porcelain figurines that are only about this. They're maybe like 2 inches tall, and they're little like Dutch people. Like one's holding a little milk bucket, but they have the little clogs on, like like the stereotypical little Dutch hat and shit. And then one's like a little girl in the little Dutch dress, but they're very creepy. I don't like dolls. They creep me out, and I put them somewhere. They're somewhere in my house, hidden from view because they scare me. But I found those in the yard. I found like a few pairs of glasses, or like just the frames. It's just everything. Magazines that are super dated, clothes that are just shredding. It's very weird. Me too, ghetto. I'm a big proponent of reuse. Reuse even before recycle. Like recycle and then trash last. But I always try to reuse everything. A lawn care story? Oh my god. No, you don't want it. It's not fun to dig here. It's gross. I mean, the yard alone. If I could show you the carpet of my house right now, just on what my dogs are dragging on their feet, you'd want to vomit. It's so foul. I vacuum like 5 times a day. If I don't mop at least 1 time a day, it looks like I live in a fucking barn. And it's just mud. Like, it's not my house is so small, there's no fucking avoiding it. I don't have a mud room. Like, you walk into the kitchen, that's where you walk into the house. It's gonna be disgusting. I just spend most of my life cleaning. It depends on how much filler they put in because you're technically on a mountain. True. That's very true. And we're even higher than Denver. We're North Denver, and we're kind of like on its own. We're on its own hill, and we are on the top of the hill. So I'm sure they had to build it up somewhat. At least turfs can be used for your garden. Fertilizer. Because there's shit. Is it a Hummel? I don't know. I don't know if it has a name. Do you know what? I know, right? Yeah, there's somewhere. I'm looking around because I know there's somewhere. Because every time I've told them, I've told the story of them like once or twice on stream. And when I say they're somewhere nearby, I never can see them. And then the moment I get off stream, I find them. I just can't remember where the fuck I put them. Because I had them like on the windowsill in the kitchen because I cleaned them off. But they just kept staring at me. So I was like, no, you have to be somewhere else. This is too much for me. You know what I mean? I just can't take those inanimate glass eyes looking at me all day. They literally, the stereotypical little Dutch babies. For real, I keep finding them in my yard. Hold on, I gotta see. No, not nearly this detailed. No, 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 no. These look like they've been carved out of like one piece of like white stone. So like the seams aren't very nice. Man, I should just go find them. They've got to be close by. I just don't know where the fuck I set them down. Because I see them every once in a while. I just don't know where the fuck they are. Hold on. Enjoy some music for 1 second. Because I think I know where they are. Maybe. I swear to fuck. The moment I end stream, I will find them. It's just infuriating. I found one thing I found in the yard. I found a turtle in the yard. I saved some of the things. It's just a glass turtle. That'd be funny if they were just like behind me. Don't know. That's so upsetting. I swear to God, I see them all the time. And then I'm like, oh, those are creepy. And then I write them off. And then I see them again. And I'm like, those are still creepy. Fuck. Hi, Dupe. How are you? Did we get some Halsey? This is a band called John Hopkins, not to be confused with Johns Hopkins. I had to update my chat. Sorry. It got weird. Yeah, this is Johns Hopkins. This one's good. I love me some Halsey, though. I think this is a relatively new one. Oh, 4 years. Not that new. Oops. The Will Wheaton lawn care story involves him getting red pepper flake powder on his genitals. But, like, do I want to know? How? I am living in a doll graveyard. That's what it feels like. I'm really upset that I don't know where I put them. I'll find them immediately after stream. I know it. They're hiding. I don't know. Ugh, that's upsetting. They've got to be. They're nearby. I can feel it. I can smell them. Oh, that's weird. Where are you? Maybe I threw them away finally, or maybe Zach did. Because they are fairly creepy. You're right, Robo. I know, I was looking around me. Oh, boy, Katie sleeps in the weirdest place. I have a heated bed for her and she doesn't sleep in it. I mean, your keyboard's probably hotter. Let's be fair. Super similar, Netter, but they're like stuck in a position their arms can't move. That's the only difference. Like, those look like they have like hinged arms. These ones, it's like, their bodies are like stuck. Like holding the little pail or whatever. But yes. Those. Yes. And it's a little boy and a little girl in there somewhere, but they're very creepy. Unless, I think I might have shown them to Zach, and he was like, why do you keep those, and thrown them away or something, because they're haunted dolls. I don't know. I don't know why I did. Because I see them, and I'm like, someone loved this. Maybe. Or put a curse inside of it. Why would you want to get rid of haunted dolls? Honestly, I don't like dolls in general. They just freak me the fuck out. I don't know. I've never liked dolls. When I was a kid, my mom, well, before I was born, my mom got she collected some porcelain dolls. And one was called the Katie doll, and one was called the Sarah doll, like me and my sister, and they were allegedly what we were going to look like. It was so creepy. My mom has, probably, a 10, maybe, just, those porcelain dolls are, this tall, and they have to have, a little waist hold and stand on a stand, and they look like weird little girls with poofy they all look like Claudia from Interview with Vampire. Varying shades of hair. That's it across the board. And when I don't get it. My mom always had these, but she never puts them anywhere where she hangs out in the house. For instance, in the house that I, spent the last 4 years, spent high school in, I guess you could say. I didn't grow up anywhere. The way it was designed is it was 3 stories, and it was like a hexagon. Or no, was it like a hexagon? Maybe a pentagon? I don't fucking know. But it was 3 stories like a cake. And there was one cake, technically. Anyways, there was one staircase. Not a spiral, but like a staircase that has a landing. Each level had a landing between it, and it would connect all 3 levels together, so you could just keep walking up the stairs forever, or you could pop out on a level of the house. And they were lined with shelves, And she would always put the dolls on the stairway leading to the basement where I was doomed to exist. Who collects these high-end porcelain dolls to line a stairway to the basement with them? Why would you do so, like, Katie in high school, experimenting with substances, gets home at 2 in the morning and stumbles down these stairs, and it's just, like, glass eyes staring at her with perfect hair. Nightmares. I just don't like them. I don't get it. It's weird. They're weird. I hate them. Don't like dolls. I also saw Puppet Master way too fucking young. Did I miss 420? Nope. It's, like, right now. I just wanted to top my bowl off. It's, like, 1 second or something. I don't know. Well, here's the thing, like, in a hey, LT, what's up? I gotta grind some weed. In a weird, like, unconscious, protest to my mother's strange I wouldn't say obsession because she just obviously doesn't like them if she's not putting them up where she's gonna be. When I was really little, she, like, super hard tried to get me to be like a girly girl, she'd put me in the fluffy dresses and make me look like these dolls, essentially. And she'd get me dolls and Barbies, and I would constantly dismember them and, like, make them into something else. Like, I desperately wanted Transformers, but she was like, "Here's an Aladdin doll." So I broke off his arms and legs and turned him into a horse with a lighter that I found. Um, and there's a picture of me in high school in my high school bedroom, and above me there is a Barbie noosed from the ceiling vent. Like, not a fan of dolls. And do not force them on me. I will show you how much of not a fan I am. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember doing these things. I just know they happened. I was Sid before Sid. You know what I'm saying? Level of surprise 0, right though? Well, when I was like itty bitty, when I was born, my childhood toys were all homemade by my mom because we were like dirt fucking poor, 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 poor. And she wanted me to have toys, and so she literally, like, cut up T-shirts and stuff and made me a couple stuffed animals that literally look like the girl Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. So I think I was just used to having things that looked like they were pieced from other things, and when they didn't look like that, I was like, "We gotta fix this." I don't know. I don't know. Just not a fan. I don't like things that look like people. It's weird to me. Like, just look in a mirror for it's fucking weird. Or unless you're fucking it. I guess I get that. I understand that some people wanna fuck a people-looking thing. Those are expensive, though. Good on you for making that level of money. Sorry, guys. I had to grind up weed, so I figured I'd take the extra minutes to clean the bowl anyways. Make it fucking taste nice. My mom really wanted girls, but she never tried to make me or my bro do stuff we didn't want to do. My mom, she claims she knew she'd have 2 girls. She always wanted them, but she wanted girly girls. And I mean, she kind of doomed herself from the start because I think every child ever rebels against what their parents want them to be just naturally. I think it's like nature. I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know that much about kids. I took like 4 child rearing classes in school. No idea. And so because she like, before we had any consciousness of what we were wearing or any sense that we could have control over that, she dressed us literally like these dolls, like big poofy skirts and little dresses with the poofy shoulders, and we'd be like with iron curled hair. We looked like the dolls, not knowing that's what she was doing. And then once we got that sense of control, we were like, well, I'm never wearing a dress again. And I don't think to this day my sister's worn a dress. But I think some parents kind of doom themselves that way when they really try to push something on their kid. Their kid's gonna be like, "Oh, Riri? Oh, Riri? Watch me go, mom." I don't remember consciously doing this. It just happened. We used to mod G.I. Joe action figures into eldritch horrors. All that melted plastic could not have been good. You think about all the shit we inhaled? Like, and the amount did you do it with a lighter? Because we started out using, like, lighters. Like, my brothers smoked whatever, so we'd steal their lighters and melt the parts together. Then we got one of those long, like, fireplace clicky lighters, but all the butane and all the plastic fumes, we were just, like, huffing. Oh my god. Oh my god. But good times, right? I feel that. I made my own dolls. I made the ones I wanted. Is against me hanging anything that a face person on, especially portraits. I don't mind pictures of people. I have pictures of people all over my house, But, like, 3D dolls and shit really freak me out. My mom just always wanted me to be happy. Too real, David, too real. You had a soldering iron? I wasn't that cool. I had a hair straightener at one point, but that just ruined the straightener. Blue Dream and Sunset? Yum. 426. Cheers. For those of us who are late. I love you, Cocky. Be safe. Cardboard cutouts of what? Of people? No. I read a really creepy book that had that kind of as a theme. Oh my god, what was it called? Hold on. Shit. Oh my god, I keep wanting to say it's Hidden Figures, but I know that's that movie that came out semi-recently. It's not Hidden Figures. But it was a book. Oh my god, it was so creepy. So it was a book about this woman who does not come from wealth, ends up I mean, this is like the preface of the book, this isn't like the story, so I'm not spoiling anything. Doesn't come from wealth, ends up mystically falling in love with a rich dude. They're in love. And while she's pregnant, he dies. I can't remember how. And so like she has to move into this grand manor all by herself, pregnant, with all this staff that has no idea who she is, and she's terrified. And it's like kind of Victorian horror. I think it's like in the Victorian Edwardian-ish era. But the like the theme, I don't know, it's a horror book, but essentially she starts finding these what I would equate to Victorian era cardboard cutouts of like children around the house. But instead of being like flat, with like a board standing them up, they're made of wood and they're like cut to make them look almost 3D, but they're like a portrait, I guess, the way they explain them. And I think I've seen something like this in life. Whereas when you look at it at one angle, it just looks like a jumble of wood squares, but then you get at the right angle and it looks like a portrait of somebody. She starts finding these around the house, and she asks the staff like, "What the fuck is this?" Because it's not like they're moving or anything. She finds them in the attic and stuff, like covered in a cloak, and she's like, "These are really bizarre, really unique portraits." And the staff is like, "Yeah, they found some artist that had this really unique way of capturing people, and he would do these blah blah blah." And they end up just appearing in different places in the house, and they look really real and it's a very good book, and I gotta fucking remember the name of it for y'all, because now I feel like I'm being a dick. Because it was a good book. It was a quick read. But fuck, it was creepy. Can you even imagine being in like a giant manor alone at nighttime and those things just like, oh, and then it's like at the very, again, I won't spoil it, but like there's one point in the book where she wakes up in the middle of the night because she hears a sound, and the sound is the sound of like thick wood being scraped across the ground. Like moving a heavy couch or something like that, but it's like the dead of night in the hallway, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just the fucking most visceral, the way this author writes shit. I gotta remember the name of the book. Fuck. I'm sorry. I'm terrible. I'll figure it out. I figured out what I want done to my body when I die. Donate my organs for science. Then one of my friends who loves Halloween, he agreed to use my skeleton as a Halloween decoration. I found out recently that people can like save their head for someone. I would love one of my parents' skulls. That would be incredible. Just to have a skull. They could be partying when no one's looking. That's what I'm saying, though. That's what, like, the beginning of the book very much alludes to, and it's really the Silent Companions! It is. Oh my god. Did you just Google something and figure it out? It is. The Silent Companions. That's literally the name of the book. How did you That's amazing. Good job. I think I read it on my Kindle Unlimited, and once you read a book, you usually return it so you can get more books, even though it's free. It's free. It's a part of your Amazon Prime thing. I thought I fucking returned it. That's why I was like, "Oh no, am I not gonna be able to find it for people?" It is the silent companions. That's fucking amazing that you just did that. Bless your heart. For those that were just listening to the description of the book that I read recently that is very creepy, The Silent Companions. And it was on Kindle Unlimited. If you have Amazon Prime, you should be able to read it for free. For free. You know, you're paying for it anyways. So you can have my head like legally? Yeah. Yes. No. It's illegal to do it secretly because there's weird laws about body rights. Bodies, especially in the US, a dead body has more rights than a female right now. Um, no joke. But there's weird rules about it. But absolutely, if you guys want to listen to someone who's really interesting, who talks about death culture across the world, who is a mortician herself, the YouTube channel I believe is just Ask a Mortician, but she actually has a skull. I believe it's her father's. It's kind of cool. Google search Victorian horror book about wooden cutouts, pregnant lady horror. Shut up. And that's literally, stop it. That's amazing. I'm fucking impressed. I have such a hard time sometimes figuring out what the fuck to Google with what I want to find. Jeff, thank you so much for subbing to the class, keeping the classy alive and giving it any swings. How are you, love? 6 states have legalized human composting. I know, and Colorado is one of them. I want to be composted. I think that's the best. I want to go back to the earth, man. Turn me into a tree. Thank you, the Ask Mortician. She's really, really knowledgeable, and she's very down to earth, very normal. Like normal, you know, it's how do I put that? She's not turning what she does for a living into like a gimmick to make viewers on YouTube. I don't know how else to put that. You know what I mean? She's very, very real. She's a real mortician who runs, but she's very much into choose your own death. Like you get to choose what you do with your body. She's not into like the rules around how they force you to do certain things with bodies and stuff like that. And she's really funny. Yeah, I really like her. I found her very recently in the past couple of years, but she's great. The Order of the Good Death. Thank you, Jeff. I was desperately trying to remember the name of it. The Order of the Good Death. Yeah, they actually have like conferences across the US where people talk on the treatment of bodies. Because, I mean, there's so much to it that none of us really understand. Like bodies that aren't claimed and stuff like that. It's terrible. Thank you. This is what I did yesterday. I already broke one, though. Did it this morning folding laundry. I'm pissed at myself. I did tie-dye. I don't think my camera will come up on them, but they're tie-dye. I'll just take a picture. This camera sucks. The newest one! Did you really read one of her? I think I might have read one of her books, too. Is it the one, oh my god. Something, it's like Tales from the Crematorium or something like that. I think I read it, too, and I didn't even realize it was the same person for a long time. Oh, the Royal Shakespeare Company in London is in possession of a human skull. Do they know whose? Dude, I want to be compost, dude. The idea of being trapped in a box when everything else in the world, like, naturally composts into the ground and goes back into the cycle of, like, being dirt, grass, you know, cow, whatever, and that we, for some reason, don't anymore, it freaks me out. Like, put me back. Put me back. Good God. She's younger than me, but looks older than me, so I find that funny. I tend to get... People think I look really, really young all the time. I get that a lot. I do them myself, but I take so much time doing them. It's kind of stupid, the amount of time I like... It's like... So, like, yesterday, for instance, I had therapy and then I had a migraine. And when I have a migraine, I can't sit still. I, like, get the spins. I can't sit. I literally can't sit or lay down. I just have to keep moving until it goes away, which sucks. So I stood at my desk and did this kind of shit. But, like, I would do one nail and then go do something else. And then come back and do a nail and go do something else. So I have no idea how long it took. But, yeah. They're not... they're pretty. Hold on. Let me see if I can turn on autofocus. They're pretty. They're pretty. I don't know how to say that. They're not perfect, but they look kind of cool. But yeah, it's been my, like, weird hobby I've had since before I can remember. Since I found nail polish as a youth. Like, I have no idea. It's like a weird zen thing I like to do. It's like my version of self-care. You know? Like some people go get a facial and shit. I sit here with my headphones on, put music on so loud that I can't hear if anything's happening outside of them, and I paint my nails for 6 hours. It's like my version of giving myself a little solitude. I don't know, it's weird. Okay, autofocus is on. It's gonna be fucky. Is it focusing? I feel like a fucking beauty YouTuber right now. See, the cuticles aren't great. They got a little splashback. But the tie-dye itself turned out pretty good, I think. The last one got fucked, so I covered it in glitter. Let's ignore that. And then that one I shut in a door when I was doing laundry this morning, so those are really pale. They're like pink and pale blue, so it's so bright in here they don't come up very well, but it's like all I did was do drops on my nail and then take a toothpick and swirl it around. This one looks really good. Whoa. Yeah. I just like put drops and then take a toothpick and blah, 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 blah. It's easy and looks complicated. It's like a easy way of looking. See how autofocus sucks, dude. This is the newest version of the camera and autofocus just what's closer than me? Is it the mic? I'd love to leave it on, but it's a nightmare. Bitch. Hello, Reaper. How are you, love? Cake. Same. Obscene is a good word for it. I too have an obscene. I actually just recently culled my nail polish because I was holding on to a million colors I never ever use that I hate. They just like came in sets. I culled it recently because it was getting ridiculous, like more than obscene. Find stuff I just do for fun and no reason. Everything I like doing keeps turning into work. Do you like having a project? I've found that's what keeps my serotonin pumping on days where like, or even just in the evening when I don't have anyone to talk to and I'm just alone. Having a project to work on or having a couple different projects to dance between if you're just as ADHD as me helps me feel less, you know what I'm saying? So like, for instance, I've slowly been painting this table and I just refinished it. Well, didn't refinish it. I finished it. Look, with a finish. It's not finished. And I'm gonna do gold foil on it. But while this is drying, I have a mural in my hallway I'm painting. In my entryway, I'm painting a mural on the wall for funsies because why the fuck not? All the walls are destroyed anyways from dogs and everything. So that's what I'm doing there. And then my other project, I'm sure some of you may have noticed this sheer amount of books right here. So I have well, you know, previous to last night, I have a bookshelf over there that was rainbow coated and fucking there's like hundreds of books on it. I am a book hoarder. I've packed these books across the country multiple times. It's disgusting. The amount of effort I've put into packing books that I've read and will never read again across the country. And what I'm doing here is I'm going through all my books and deciding what ones like I absolutely like and the reason I'm doing this is recently I've been going over to my bookshelf and looking around and being like, I want to read a physical book. And I've read every single thing on that shelf. There's nothing there I ever want to read again. There's a few like, I have like some antique books and shit like that like those are very special and going to be saved forever. But other than that, it's just a lot of paperbacks and shit like that. And so I'm going to make furniture out of the books. Long story short. So I have 3 mildly physical projects that in no way can I turn into work, I don't think, that I can dance between that give me like a sense I'm doing something, I'm like creating. And it's fun for me. I kind of like doing stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe something like that. Wait, about vultures? Hold up. I gotta turn off autofocus. It's so bad. Is it back? Sick. Okay. It's just dances. I wasn't even moving and it fucking jumps. It's so bad. Ghetto, and that's basically what I'm doing is I'm ripping apart my bookshelf. Like, it looks like a fucking disaster zone over there right now. I'm ripping it apart, going through it, and pulling the books out that either I haven't read or are special or I want to keep them. Like, I have a lot of, like, guidebooks. Like, oh, what are they called? Come here, you bitch. Frommers. I have a lot of these. But I fill them, and I've legitimately used the fuck out of them. It's not like I own them just to own them. Like, I have driven across the country so many times at this point, and I collect all, like, the pamphlets and stuff from all the national parks. So, like, I'm probably not going to be opening this book anytime soon and like, oh my god, use it. However, it's dear to me, and this will be kept because it's like memories. You know, I have notes and shit written in here, like what was bullshit, what wasn't. I have the receipts from what it costs to go through the parks. That's fun. I haven't looked through this in forever, but like those kind of things, I definitely save. I'm not going to be destroying those. But a lot of these, this is part of it. I'm gonna make. What I want to do because we literally don't have a dining room table. Like we don't have. My house is so small; it's not designed to have a dining area. If that makes sense. It's like kitchen to this carpeted space. So this portion of the house over here that's actually tiled for some random reason against this wall, I want to turn into like a cafe table. Have you ever seen those where it's like a table and like a half booth built into the wall? I want to like make a wood skeleton and then fill it full of books. And these are just like one readers paperback books that I'm never going to touch again, old cookbooks that I just never used, didn't like anything out of them, stuff like that. Just like books I'm never going to read again. I liked them. I have a hard time letting them go, which is why I've moved across the country a million times with them. It's ridiculous with this fucking book. But I think that it like puts them to use. You know what I mean? And I've seen a lot of cool art where people like make end tables or like archways out of books, like just books that like you're hoarding. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my goal is to get through all the books and figure out how to do something like that because I'd like to have an area where I can like have a table and chill and sit that is not just my desk in my work area because I kind of feel that way too. Like all my spare time is also spent at this exact desk in this exact seat looking at this exact monitor. The only difference is my eyes are here instead of here. And I feel like that's going to drive me crazy at a certain point. Like it's not healthy to be in the exact same fucking like, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to create a different space, I guess, without taking away space in the house because the house is very small. I have one spider parenting book. It's near me somewhere because I've been painting out of it. Yeah, there's a couple books like that that are special to me. Some of my school books, no shit, they're special to me. I'm never gonna do anything. Like I'm not going to solidify them into a piece of furniture. But most of them, they're just like Moneyball. That's one of the books that's on the floor. Practical Magic, great book. I've read it. I'm good. The Lovely Bones, I've read it. I'm good. Like there's just bullshit books everywhere. I've got so many books. There's just stacks. It looks like a fucking bomb went off over there. But I'm trying to go through them and organize them by size so then I can kind of Jenga them together in a manner that they'll like stay together solidly so people can like sit on it. You know what I mean? I have stuff I'll never read again that just takes up space, but I can't throw it away. Exactly. That's why I'm doing this. I'm the same. David, I'm the same. It like hurts me to throw it away. But I feel like this will, and I'm designing it, so the spines face out. The spines that I care about, the titles I actually care about will be facing out at least. And I found a tutorial on how to do this, like how to make furniture out of old books and stuff like that, where you only really have to ruin one or two books per couple feet. You know what I mean? Like there's some books that will be drilled into and they will be like your supports. But then the rest of the books that go in, you could undrill these supports and pull those books out and they'll be fine. Actually, maybe in better condition because they'll be so fucking compressed and put together that they'll be less exposed to oxygen and whatnot, which is what destroys paper. I don't know. It's kind of really clever. People are so fucking crafty. I just found out Electric Callboy has a US tour coming up and tickets go on sale. I know aren't they going they're not going to Red Rocks, right? Dude, Rod sent me an Instagram of the tickets last night, I think like that. And I was like, dude, they're going to be so fucking expensive. I mean, I didn't say that, but that was the first thing that came to mind is they're going to be fucking expensive. Yeah, they're going to be in Denver somewhere. I can't remember exactly where they were. I don't think it's Red Rocks. I think it's somewhere downtown. Because I think they're more of a, what would you say, like stadium band? Like they need those acoustics for the electronic. I don't know. Maybe. 35? Shut up. Shut up. They're downtown. Are they really? Have you seen that they're only 35? I really thought they'd be like, I looked and they were like $100 here. No shit. I'm not kidding you. The moment Rod said it to me, I looked it up and they were over $100 already. And I didn't look on Ticketmaster. Like, I looked on a website where they don't do charge ups. What? Court of Thorns and Roses is literally on the floor near me. Shut up. I've read it. It's good. I saw it recently. I saw it earlier today. It's on the floor somewhere in that stack of books. That's a good book. You'll like it, I think. Tori Amos is going to Red Rocks. Oh my God, Zach would love that. I got to start thinking about his birthday. It's coming up in May. They're at Summit, but nothing's cheaper than $60 at Summit. The ones I saw just yesterday were over $100 already, which is pretty crazy. Is it because it's like a really small venue or something? That's awesome, Kills. You should totally go. You should go. If anybody can get decent tickets to go see Electric Callboy, go and share your experience with me. I am not wealthy enough to go to $100 concerts at the moment, but I would love to hear your stories. I would probably cry if I saw Tori Amos live, and I have no shame admitting that. Honestly, I'd have more shame if I didn't end up crying when I saw Tori Amos live. Just facts. Is he so he's a, what are they, Taurus? 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 Fuck. I hate when I think about the way I say words, because then my mouth doesn't make sense anymore. Zach is a Taurus, cusp. He's May 20th. Taurus Gemini. Oh, it's because it's right by Coors Field. That, and they redid the place about 10 years ago and tickets went up. Interesting. So they redid it and tickets went up. That seems stupid. Tori Amos apparently is coming to the Red Rocks. But Zach really likes Tori Amos. Right, hipster? I don't need to say it. I'm not allowed to have feelings. Silly Katie. I'm only allowed to be horny, angry, and a douche. Jeez. I hate that. I know. I can only be pretty and dumb or, nerdy with a ponytail and glasses. I get it. Someone, oh God, someone said it recently. I think it was Halsey. She was like, women get categorized so easily into either like the virgin or the whore. And if you don't fit in one of those categories, that's when people attack because they get uncomfortable. Made me sad. My wife suggested we get tickets this year in PA, and I'm like, let's go to Red Rocks. Why not? Can you imagine Tori Amos at Red Rocks? She literally is the color of Red Rocks. Her hair. Are you kidding me? My mouth just started to water thinking about it. Is Neil, I think, sorry, it feels like there's a dog hair stuck to my fucking nose ring. I think Rod was asking me about Neil Brennan recently. Is that the comedian you were asking me about, Rod? Was Neil Brennan? I keep meaning to check the dates that Rod told me, and I am not. I just forgot. But if they're funny, I mean, I love comedy. The last comedian we went and saw with Rod, I'd never seen in my life before, and I think I almost pissed my pants laughing. He was so fucking funny. Oh my! What was that guy's name, Rod? The guy we saw at the smaller downtown place. God, that man was so goddamn funny. Oh, then why do I know this name? Hold on. Why do I know this name then? Because the name is so familiar. Neil Brennan. Hold on. I know this name. Why do I know Neil Brennan? Hold up. I just have to Google. You know me and names. It's terrible. I probably know him. Fuck my ass. Are you kidding me? Don't really, though. That wasn't an invitation, you fucks. I know the name. It's just terrible that my brain is so fucking dumb. Oh, I like Neil Brennan. His newest stand-up is the Cubes or something. Right? Blocks! Thank you. Yes, dude, Zach really likes him too. I think he would fucking love to go. What are the? You have to tell me the dates, and I'll have to ask him. But Zach's the one who introduced me to Neil Brennan. Actually, blocks. Yeah, it was great. He's a fucking smack you with real stuff, and then he like. I can honestly say this. I can't think of another comedian that makes me cry and laugh in the same in the same set. Like it's almost like the like hooker trope with the pimp. Like he beats you down to build you up. It's terrible. It gives you a black eye and then gives you a bubble bath. You know what I'm saying? It's wonderful. I mean, he is an honest as fuck human being. It's very refreshing, but damn. No shit. He does a whole podcast based on it. I didn't know that. August 5th. Okay, let me write it down. It's a Saturday. I would just say yes. And then I would like, don't y'all say anything to Zach, because maybe I'll get it for him for his birthday. Sometimes he signs up for like sponsored shit like years in advance. He just did one, literally. His latest sponsorship he signed up for like a year and a half ago, and he completely forgot about it until the morning of. It was hilarious. August 5th. Got him. Thank you. It's next to my Safi. Post it. It's heartbreaking and funny. Exactly, Mishy. Mishy said he is terribly heartbreaking and then so darn funny. Exactly. Like, it's just... it's... Man, I don't know what it is. I very recently started listening to his stand-up because I'd never... I think the stand-up before Blocks... What was the one before Blocks? It was another kind of game. It was another, like, thing like Blocks. What was it? 3 mics. Yes, the 3 mics. Oh my god, that was the first I'd ever seen of him ever. Was 3 mics. Zach showed it to me, and I was like, at first I was like, this pretentious fuck, and then by the middle of it, you're like crying, laughing, snorting, laughing. It's weird. Then you fart and you die. He's kind of genius, I think, a little bit. Wait, a tweet limit? Like how many tweets you can, like tweets total? I'm gonna be fucked. What? Oh, he did one with Taylor Tomlinson. I love Taylor Tomlinson. Of course it would be rough, dude. Oh my god. What's his podcast called? Does it have a name? I want to write that down and check it out too. Next month will be 8 years since me and Katie met. I always forget. That just gave me weird goosebumps inside my ears. I forget that that's when I started streaming. Is that weird? Like, I forget that's literally this expanse. That's like the spans of some of my friendships with some people here on Twitch. That's so weird. It's been 8 years since me and Katie met, and Katie was 27, so I feel that ghetto because I'm 27. So it's like so much time and change, but also like no time at all. We both evolved and also fundamentally ourselves. Isn't that, it's like, yeah, I couldn't agree harder. We've changed, but not in the core ways. Like, I feel like we're corely the same humans, you know what I mean? It is weird. Is it because I'm not paying that hate monkey billionaire? I don't know, because I'm not going to fucking pay that hate monkey billionaire either. To be honest, at 25, my prefrontal cortex solidified, and that massively helped reduce my dumbassery. I don't know if mine's solidified yet. Sometimes I wonder. Interesting. I'm going to have to try to tweet something. Now I'm nervous. What? You can't do it for another day? Shut the fuck up. Shut up. The Blocks podcast. It's literally so it's all started from this stand-up. Legit. That's crazy. Good for him though. The Blocks pod. Oh, this is a good song. The Blocks podcast. Honestly, I'll get sucked into anybody that Taylor Tomlinson goes on their show. I love her so much. She's so relatable. She makes me feel very seen. The Blocks. It's just the Blocks podcast. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Getting sick at 23 really made me chill my stupidity. Oh, I'm sad it took getting sick, but I'm glad you're not a dum-dum anymore, honestly. Like, about their blocks. Shut up, I love that. Well, you know what's funny, Kel? If you look at, Zeke tweeted something earlier today, and he asked me about it. He always uses TweetDeck. I've never seen this. I mean, I've never used it in my life, but I see him use it all the time, and it's some sort of, like, tweet thing. And he got a notice, I think this morning or last night, that TweetDeck was like, from now on, TweetDeck will only function for people with a blue check mark, and it will only show you content from people with a blue check mark. So I wonder if Twitter's going fully paid for. Like, who would do that? Y'all need to get Discord. I hit mid-30s and the wheels started falling off. Mine was like at 30. I literally had my mental breakdown at 30. The yoke, what is it in Oregon Trail? The axle's down. The axle broke. Oh, God. I mean, Twitter will die, exactly. No one's gonna pay for that. If everybody has a blue check mark, nobody has a blue check mark. You know what I'm saying? Really, Kel? Fuck. Was 21. I think I had one in my 20s. I got diagnosed with ADD in my 20s and OCD. But bipolar didn't take till 30. That was a bad one. Katie has died of dysentery. Katie failed to ford the river. Must decide to make unofficial clients not have access any longer. Interesting. Yeah, Banana, I've got it written down. I've got the date, and then I've got the podcast, and so I'll ask him. It should be fine, honestly. I mean, I'm gonna go. This pen is so wet. It's like gloopy. What a weird gel pen. This is part of my RP for Mondays. I have gel pens at my desk now. Oh, Jack, that makes me very sad. I hate that. I hate that on all levels. Any ADHDers out there who have any favorite or least favorite terpenes? Like like strains or like consistency? What do you mean? I'm sure they do. And do you mean weed? What else would be a terpene? What else would be a terpene, right? Education is teaching our children to desire the right things. Oh, I love that. I think the very basic thing that Musk's super genius doesn't realize about Twitter is that no one's going to Twitter for Twitter. It's just a pass through. It very much is. Yeah. I don't think he realizes that either. But he doesn't come off as a very smart individual. Zach just hit his desk and it shook my ground. I'm just saying. My house is small. From 1995, David. The top movie was Ace Ventura. One of the top songs was Don't Speak by No Doubt. I have a whole page of stats written down from the year to remember. And there were no cell phones. It's the best world. But yes, I am. It's very fun. Whichever terpene makes it smell like cat piss, that one I hate. I hate that one, and I hate the one that makes my partner think the dog's shit in the house. There is a terpene that if I have not gotten it since, and I failed to remember the name, the strain. But when I opened it to burn it, Zach came rushing out here and said, "Did one of the dogs throw up shit out of their mouth?" And I said, "Nope." And he came over and smelled it, and then he had to go throw up shit out of his mouth. Just kidding, but maybe I'm not. I don't want that one. It was bad. It smoked just fine. I got nice and high, but it smelled like death. Terpene is, have you ever heard of dabs? People that smoke weed do dabs. So they'll have what's called a dab rig. So basically it looks just like a bong, but the bowl is different. Instead of being like a bowl, like a big bowl to hold weed, it'll be like this weird little S curve of glass and then a bowl that has a solid bottom, no hole in the bottom. And you actually heat up the bowl before you put anything in it to a whatever temperature that the terpene requires. And then you introduce the terpene, and it literally vaporizes instantly because that bowl is fucking hot. and you inhale it instantaneously. It's essentially the concentrated THC extracted from the plant a million different ways. That is terpene. No, you do not want shit going that direction. Can you imagine? Do you think you ever get the flavor out of your mouth? Oh my God, stop. Nope. Katie, bad. Well, here's the thing, Tragic. Most of the, I don't know, what do you call them? The dab sticks? The, sticks that you use for dabs. The opposite end of them is almost always a topper. I don't dab. I have one, though. Hold on. Where did I put it? It's in my, paintbrush cup. Where est thou, Romeo? Hold up. Oh my God. Thank you, Gleb. So I got this out of a hemper box, and I literally use it for art and stuff because I don't dab, because you have to have a torch and a dab rig and maybe an e-nail, and it's just complicated. But essentially, they're glass. It's blown glass. It's a carrot. But this is what I'm led to believe. So you would have your tiny little, pinhead amount of whatever terp you're smoking on the tip of that. You would introduce that to that steaming hot bowl, and then, swirl it. And then I think this is supposed to be some sort of topper. I don't know how accurate, how much that works, but that's what they say on the website. It's a carrot. It's a glass carrot. It's a glass carrot. Oh, were you having therapy today? I hope it goes very well and it's healing and wonderful for you. Terpenes are naturally occurring chemicals in plants that are responsible for scent, flavor, and color. Boom! I didn't know that. That's awesome. There you go. Dude, Electric Callboy is amazing. Have you just learned about them? I recently, very, very recently learned about them. Hold on. I don't know what song you listen to, but I'm going to play you one of my recent favorites. Because the music video in itself makes me so happy. It's just one of those music videos that gives you pleasure. Happy, happy, happy feelings. Have you ever just had a song / movie / music video / just any piece of media that just makes you smile? We got the moves. We got the moves. That's it. Yeah, we got the. I'm gonna play. We got the moves. Did you watch the music video? Because it's just that was just on me. I have to go get my dogs and do something with them because they are anxiously running in circles around my yard trying to kill a squirrel. But thank you for joining me for at least the bulk of stream today. I apologize for being late. I swear to God, OBS updates again. I'm gonna put my fist right through it. We're gonna have some problems. I'm gonna have to go over there and fucking talk. I'm tired of it. It's sabotage. It's everything. What's it called? Oh my God. Do you want me to give you the link? I'll just give you a link. Hold on. The band is called Electric Callboy, and the song is We Got the Moves, but honestly, all of their songs are great. I would just go listen to a playlist of them. They're just, all of their songs are fucking bangers. They're amazing. Boom. I hope that was the right link, right? They're fantastic. I truly believe Sales was the first one to give me a link of them on a music day, on a Faded Friday, and I was like, how did I not know about these people? They're amazing. Cheers. Final cheers for y'all. I love you. I love you, Viata. I hope you feel better today. I hope all y'all have a good day. Send chill vibes to my dogs, please. Right, especially when my brain wants to be cheated. I kind of wanted to believe he was floating. Is that so weird? That would have been really cool. Or that he had just, made a hop, and you know how some people can jump and do those freeze frame photos where it looks like they weren't jumping? Maybe he just did something like that mystically and I got it. I love you. February is kind of, I don't know. I love you. I'd say it's a shitty month, but that's just because I'm biased against my own birthday. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow morning bright and fucking early. I'm not even gonna turn OBS off. Honestly, I'm leaving it up. Zach leaves his up all week long. I'm just leaving it up. I'm not letting that happen again. Tomorrow, we will craft a thing. I'm not even gonna tell you what it is. I'm excited to do it together, though. It involves all these books. So tonight I'm going to finish going through them and cleaning up. And then tomorrow we will craft together. And then Fated Friday. And then on Saturday, I think Saturday can go back to being Catterday. I think we can finish Stray. I think, because I can make a full fist with this hand now. And this doesn't, I don't feel anything. So that means it's okay, right? I don't know. I'll test it by holding a controller. Because I don't think we'll have to do anything labor intent. Like, it's not like playing Hades or something in Stray. So I think we'll be fine. I'd love to finish that. And then we have Stanley Parable to finish. And then There Is No Game. And then Superliminal. That's the list. These are all games I already own. We've dug them out of the vault. And we're dipping into them. Slowly but surely. I'm going to raid you into my boy Smokaloke. He is an awesome human being, not playing the Harry Potter game. So there's that. I love you, be good. Wash your fucking piss mittens. Peace, bitches.